highest peaks. We have delved into the cracks of the world. And yet, the Fool's Curtain mystifies this world. Many have wondered what lies behind the curtain, but too few have pondered what is the curtain keeping at bay. Let us begin!
I swear to fucking God.
Oh, wow. That happened.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oddities D&D. So happy to be here. It has felt like twice as long as it usually does between sessions, so we are super stoked to be here.
So excited.
Oh my God. But
Also,
before we get carried away with it,
one on stealth.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was not gonna call them out.
I'm calling out. I'm calling out.
Oh, I am so thankful that I don't have like the Discord thing in the audio section of that scene, because it took everything for me to keep my shit together when that happened. You would have heard like, you know, spooky voice like,
We have delved into the... What the fuck?
you know, just... Oh, too precious. All right. Before we dive into tonight's session, we're going to introduce all of our lovely, lovely players, starting with the stealthiest of stealthy wizards, Nagheim.
Hi, I'm a clusterfuck who just dropped all of their dice. That's bad. And I played Nagheim, our drow wizard.
Across the board from Nagheim, Cult.
Cult, I'm Chuck. I play half-orc rogue Cult, who didn't come up with an intro, so fuck yeah.
Hey. Zigzagging from there, we have Rose.
Hi, my name is Fred. My therapist says I need to stop basing my personality on sex and astrology. Hey!
That'll never happen.
Fail. And last but not least, the absolutely shit-faced, terrified Viria.
Hi, I am life-sized human-shaped person, Ari, and I play Hexblade Warlock Viria, who may or may not be a total mess like I am.
There you go. This is the Oddities. All right, so who is going to be reading the recap today?
I did last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not me.
There you go. That settles one thing.
I can do it.
Let's hear it. Go for it.
Believe in you, baby.
I don't believe in me.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
you.
I believe in nothing called love. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so after killing the strange chimera-like creature who made a nest aboard a derelict airship on the journey to the Shattered Teeth, the Oddities investigate for survivors and find none. After hauling treasure in the ship's ledger back to the Silverweed, they discuss for the next leg of the journey with Captain Amaruska. She decides they need to stop by Draconia to deliver the wrecked ship's remains, and that perhaps there they would be able to find a way to help the Silverweed through the Fool's Curtain. In the interim, Nagheim points out to Viria that her wonky self of direction has been leading her southeast, to their destination this entire time. And Cult and Viri share a drink in a small bonding moment later that night. The next day, the ship lands on Draconia, and the Oddities are able to purchase potions of fire resistance to help them cross the wall of burning steam standing in their way. As they're about to cross, Colt receives a message informing him of his parents' relocation to the Feywild and that he and his siblings have inherited the Cultivarius estate. Before he has a chance to respond, the silverweed is engulfed into the steam. With the insulated cloaks purchased by Amarusco and Nagaheim's spells, the crew makes their way across the Fool's Curtain without suffering any losses. They land onto a small island and are greeted by its population, a strange people who appear to worship dreams. After making it clear that they mean no harm and that they intend to stand out in the islanders' way during their time in the Shattered Teeth, the Oddities spend the night aboard the Silverweed to rest, their night plagued with vivid dreams.
Ooh.
Spooky.
So with that, Virya, you wake in the middle of the night, eyes wide and still half blind from the light of the lighthouse? Getting your bearings within the bubble once more, you look around to see who is awake and who needs to be woken up.
Is everyone sleeping? Was there Robert Pattinson at the lighthouse?
That was such a... Wow, just...
Sorry, I had to do it.
Hey,
I
you
had
go
to
for
do
it,
at the end. But, yeah. Anyone else awake?
It depends on the time.
What about in about 2 hours since you guys bed down for the night?
Colt might still be awake, writing in a journal.
You just see, like, Virya turn to you. And it's just, like, two glowing eyes in the dark. And she's just like... Tomorrow. I need to talk to you guys tomorrow. And she'll just turn away and try to go back to sleep.
Colt's not sleeping then. Left it hanging. Just leaving that in the air. Are you sure? And he just sort of tries to look over her shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, the other two are still sleeping, so I feel like, and I don't want to wake them. We deserve rest after yesterday's trip through the Fool's Curtain, so, yeah. We had dreams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are very close to your goal. Regarding things I personally don't really understand, so...
I'll try to explain tomorrow.
Sure. Have a good sleep. Try to have a good sleep.
You too.
And he
Alright.
sort of just nestles down and puts his book away. He's just wide awake for quite some time.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Chuck. Or Cult, sorry.
Saving throw?
Yes, please.
Alright. Oh, that's an 11.
Okay, yeah. You get your sleep,
Okay, good.
as does everyone else. So if you
Oh, do I
need
have a long
to,
rest?
long rest, you can do that in D&D Beyond. Reset
Please.
everything.
Give me back my HP.
Give me back my spells.
It's like I put you guys through the ringer or something. I don't know. It's weird. But the next day comes. Everybody is awake. I'd say probably Rose is the early bird of the group. So, yeah,
You
I'd
know
say.
what I'm gonna do.
Oh, please tell me.
I'm gonna make breakfast.
Hells yeah. All right, so you head down to the kitchen area on the Silverweed, and you see your old friend there, whose name I totally remember. I only know him as Arseface in my head, but you know, we'll say he had a proper name.
Isn't he Eric?
Does Remy.
Remy. There it is.
Yeah, it's a 4-letter name, but
With only one consistent letter, but yeah, totally.
listen.
I don't ask for much, guys. No. So you head down there and you make breakfast with Remy, and you kind of take 4 handfuls of whatever you guys came up with and try and get it back into the bubble. The rest of you who are just waking up now, Nagheim, I think you'd probably be the second to rise.
I only sleep for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Or sleep, so Rose and I would wake up at the same time.
Right on.
But
So the rest of you see Rose coming in with like chin on top of the top plate, and then the rest in here trying to balance all 4 as she gets into the bubble, and she's kind of kicking with her foot to see if it's okay to kind of come back in and everything like that, and then it just disappears. And you're all awake.
You could have asked for help.
I don't need help. Here, just grab your portion, please.
Oh. I got
No, breakfast. Here, grab yours. All right. All right. So this morning we have buns and a little bit of eggs, and they had some cured sausage. So you have a little bit of meat. I think we needed meat, especially that bottle that we had yesterday. And some apple slices. Enjoy.
Everyone except for Rose, make a perception check, please.
11.
Hey.
The bun is
21.
like a sweet brioche.
20.
Okay.
Straight dirty.
Nagheim and Cult. This actually works out really well. Viri, you're still kind of like puzzling over what you dreamt about the night before. So while you're trying to look engaged, you're up in your head. But Cult and Nagheim, you notice that Rose has a little bit of scrambled egg attached to the bottom of her chin from carrying it.
So glad that high roll went to that. Colt just reaches out, grabs the egg, and eats it.
My head.
Gotta be quicker. Oh dear. And somewhere, is a god choking? Yes.
So perfect. Oh, I love Rose. All right. So, over breakfast, what would you guys like to do? Oh, that
I
hurt.
prepare tea.
Colt's gonna be eyeing Viria somewhat nervously as per what they talked about the night before. While he eats.
She's gonna eat a bit, and she's gonna give Colt a look, and then before we get any further, I'd like to talk to the 3 of you about something. If
I swear to
That's
God,
okay.
we're not leaving. If you ask us to leave again, I will slap you.
I don't think. How about we just let her say what she was wanting to say?
It's a bit early to offer slaps.
I'm gonna look to Colt's side and give the bottle of whiskey. Was it whiskey? Bourbon. He always carries around a really longing look, even though it's like super early in the morning.
Would Colt be able to read that look? Yes, he kind of just passes it over. I rolled a natural 18.
Fine.
Okay, puts it away.
It's quite the contrary, actually, Nagheim. The 3 of you have shown me how much you care by following me here, and so I guess I trust you, and I think I owe it to you to tell you how I got into this whole mess before we go any further. Why are you taking notes?
Bowl of popcorn comes out. Where did you get that?
I'm currently writing down the date and that you just said you trust us.
Colt brings out his journal.
Rose
Oh,
is not gonna
dang
write
it.
down anything. But Rose is gonna just extend her hand and hold Viri's hand and just like give it a, squeeze, and then just release it.
For a split second, I thought you were going to steal everybody's eggs while they weren't looking.
No,
All right.
just give her a hand squeeze.
Absolutely.
So, Colt, when I told you about what I did before leaving Skjalfell, I didn't tell you everything. Okay, here goes. So, when they made the island their home, my grandmother and her people found a shrine holding this shard, and I'll take off my glove, on a smaller island off Skjalfell's coast. And unlike the other artifacts they found on the archipelago, they feared this one in particular, and because they felt it held a very immense amount of magical energy, and they were superstitious, and so they appointed a guardian to it to keep anyone from taking it to use its power. Growing up, I wanted nothing more than to be granted that honor, and I eventually did. And so, yeah, on top of any kind of mercenary work I did growing up, I was appointed the shard's guardian and sworn to secrecy regarding its location. Very formal, as you can imagine. And about a year ago, something unexpected happened. A ship and its crew made land on Skjalfell. Their captain was a man named Thorndyke, and he offered us gold in exchange for safe harbor, and while my grandmother suspected they were pirates, they were nothing but friendly and polite, and so they stayed. And during the days, these strangers helped around the island, and at night, they just told us tale of their adventures, and we hit it off really well with them. My friend Agnar in particular was taken by this captain's stories, and one night around drinks, he let slip our islands were home to many hidden treasures, and that I guarded such an artifact. And he wanted to impress the captain. Several times he told me he was thinking of going with him when they left, and I can't blame Agnar for being seduced, because I myself had started to be drawn to, this man's tales of adventure and freedom and treasure around Exandria. And when the captain took interest in me, he told me he was thinking of going. He was basically offering me a chance to leave as well, and I was flattered, and well, I had another friend named Folke, and they warned us about this captain. They told us to be careful, but Agnar and we didn't quite listen, and well, Folke was right. The night before the pirate's departure, Agnar told the captain had a proposal for us. He offered us to leave with him in exchange for the treasure I guarded, and that's when I hesitated. But next thing I knew, I was leading Thorndyke towards it. Now, Folke caught wind of this and tried to stop us, but we'd gone too far at that point, and when I hesitated and when my friends' lives were threatened, I snapped out of whatever trance I was in long enough to be cut down, and the next thing I know, the captain's striking down my friends with lightning, and I'm dragging myself to this shard's location to make a last stand. I'm facing this great beast in a blizzard, and I'm making him deal with it. Because all I wanted was enough power to help my friends. And, when I came to, after all this, I was alone, and the shard I was meant to protect was in my hand, and my wounds were healed, but I hadn't made it in time. When my grandmother and her men found me, I was sitting next to my friend's corpse. And the pirates had left. Obviously, our warriors had been able to drive them out, but, yeah, the harm was done at this point. In the next light, I just left as well. And I'll look to Colt, and I'll say, so that's why I left. I told my grandmother Thorndyke didn't get the shard and that I'd lost it. And, so I left. I just felt nothing but shame and grief, and so I guess that's it. When Fulk and Agnar died, I felt like I'd lost half my heart, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it again. And I know Thorndyke is still out there somewhere. I was against the three of you following me because I can't allow him to hurt anyone else ever again. For your sake and for mine, because yeah, I can't lose what's left of my heart at this point.
Colt hugs her.
I'll give him a
just
hug back.
Holds her just in that reassuring, tight, not saying anything until she's done. And sort of, he feels her backing away, then he'll just sit there.
Rose once again reaches for Viri's hand to give her a squeeze, but like the one that has the shard on it. And holds it.
Give hugs and squeezes back, and I'll just sit there.
Fury. Do you want to know what that gem is?
For the longest time, I just didn't care. I couldn't think of anything except just find the others and find Thorndyke and kill him for what he did. But the thing is, at this point, something unexpected happened, and that's me meeting you three. And I'll say this, sorry, our contact at the Cobalt Soul made me a proposal to bring whatever shards I find back to them instead of keeping them for myself. I think that's what he meant. I'm not sure, he was very cryptic.
We'll talk later.
If you have time, if you give me your hand with the shard,
I'll extend it.
I think I'll just kind of cup her hand in it. And it'll take about 10 minutes. But I'll begin to ritually cast Identify.
Okay.
So there, I thought a lot when we talked, Colt, and I felt I owe it to you to let you know what you're getting into, because I don't have all of the pieces myself. I still don't know what I'm dealing with here, but I know danger's out there and I'm scared.
Well, that's okay. We'll be scared together. At least you're not scared alone.
We're all pieces. Just trying to find enough to fit ourselves together. And I'm not afraid.
You're stupid not to be, but
I'm very well educated. And he's joking, obvious. Like, it's an obvious joke. He's terrified. But you guys all stood with me in the face of God knows what, and we came out of it. We'll
Yeah, I
find
know.
you your pieces. And you can do with them whatever you wish.
And it's about that time. That you see a look of frustration on Nagheim's face. As this simply registers as some sort of crystal shard. Nothing more. What's the plan?
Cult's gonna take a moment and walk off the ship, and he's gonna try to find a ghost.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
probably, yeah.
we'll jump back to that, but
Yep, yeah.
Virya, make a intelligence check, please.
Come on. A natural 20.
Fuck yes, thank God. Just as everybody is about to depart and get ready for the day ahead, you instantly remember, oh shit, yeah, something triggered this in my head. I had a fucking dream last night. That's it. Cult. Just so, you know, Viri doesn't forget to divulge that information. Anyway, just wanted to be sure. Cult, you are finding a ghostesses.
I'm finding a ghostesses.
Excellent.
Yeah, this is a spoopy island. Let's
don't
see
know
what
what you're talking
spoopy ghosts they have. You'll stroll around like the outskirts of the village and see if there's any sort of like burial plot looking areas, or you know, maybe like a little grove of reverence, something of the like.
Okay. It's hard to tell when you step outside and kind of take stock of what the shape of the village is. Because of its spiral and circular kind of layout, you don't really get a sense of anything indicating one differentiating itself from another as far as the buildings and the territory kind of goes. You might not find a gravesite, but that doesn't mean you can't try to contact the
Yeah.
spirits.
It's usually he tries to go where he thinks that they might linger,
Oh, for sure.
and yeah, let's see who we can find.
Okay. One more time. Remind me of what this is again.
This is Whispers of the Dead, which gives me proficiency in something I am not currently proficient in. Can
Excellent.
I
What are you
help along
picking?
by telling you what I'm looking for?
Yeah, please.
Let's see. Survival.
Okay. So as you kind of tap into the ethereal kind of nature of spirits, there's something, a shape that kind of appears. And as it takes a little bit more form, you see short but slender form, long dark hair down the back. Not a dress. In our understanding, it would almost look like a kimono of sorts, with a large bow at the back, hands in front of it. You're staring at the back of this creature, and you're waiting for some sort of acknowledgement, the speech of the dead, anything. But all that happens is that the hair slowly starts to go back, and then the head cracks back to look at you with vacant eyes, and then dissipates.
Oh, that's new. Oh, I went full Scottish there.
That's new!
Oh my god. Oh shit, son. Oh my god.
We in fucking Junji Ito land, yo.
Oh, goody. I'm so excited. Okay. Whew. He feels imbued by the the blessing of tracking and knowing the area around, not knowing the area around him, but
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
You have a better shot now.
that's super fun. Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. What is everybody else doing? Rose.
Rose has probably gone down to the kitchen to make coffee. 'Cause after that story, coffee is needed.
There you go.
And she's
Now-
making some for everyone.
Sure.
My
So as you meet Remy down there, he'll kind of just look over and you might want to sprinkle some cinnamon in there. It gives it a nice little bit of kick.
Good idea. I'll take a big carafe for the others.
Well done. Let me know if you need anything.
Oh, you know, I always do. Okay?
And he gets back to work.
And I go back and I go, coffee!
I already have tea, thank you.
Well, then coffee!
Yeah,
but not for
sugar,
behind.
sugar. Yeah, sugar. And she just takes the sugar, whatever the sugar's in, and just
It's good prop work. Right on.
Colt scrambles back on deck and he's like, I smell coffee.
There
He
you go.
goes and gets a cup and he uncorks his bottle of bourbon and just like maybe like offers anybody a splash in their coffee.
I'll have some of that, yeah? Put
Yeah,
some
okay,
lime.
okay.
now
I'd
I
say
will.
it's Irish coffee, but it's not Irish whiskey. It's bourbon, so it's more like Americana, I guess.
Guess.
Yeah, sure.
Boozy coffee. You know?
Boozy coffee, who
It's a
cares?
boozy bougie coffee. There you go.
Is
All
there
right.
cooking sherry by any chance?
Well, on this ship, it's like pirates. We don't care about alcohol. It's fine at work.
So after a few minutes of just silently sipping her coffee, Vera just goes like, also, I had a dream.
Yeah? How was it?
A lighthouse.
Was there
Something-
someone named Robert in it?
Well, that's an unusual. Did you have an experience with a Robert at a lighthouse?
Yeah.
Well, there was that
um,
one time when I was 19. But,
Ooh, I knew a Robert who worked in a lighthouse too.
Oh, we've lost the DM. Our thirst is too strong for you, Jason.
too easy. But I don't think that's related. She
Mm,
blushes a little
sorry.
bit.
You were saying you had a dream.
Yeah, did any
Was
of
there a guy
you-
named Willem in it?
Jason.
Was he the foe of your dream?
Oh! Countered! Countered!
I'm laughing, but I actually didn't hear what you said. But I'll just say point of inspiration because I'm sure it was good.
Oh, I
It
said,
was-
was he the foe of your dream?
Willem Dafoe.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay.
He's
No, you don't get point of inspiration for that shit.
Oh,
I'm
Rob,
kidding.
Rob,
No, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Let's get going. Come on.
I'm feeling insane. Okay. Well, yeah, so did the three of you experience any weird dreams by any chance, or am I the only one having weird,
Did
monster-induced dreams?
So
I
I'll
guess, at
say
this point?
the three of you, like I said, because I had to double check this. The three of you had unfamiliar dream, like not unfamiliar, nothing that you guys would remember, not as distinctly as what Viria saw. Hers was more of like nightmarish vision kind of thing. You guys, they were typical dreams, but just some sort of unsettling feeling. It was a bit more tangible than most dreams you've had in the past, but nothing that would make you worrisome or anything like that.
Yeah, my
I think
dream
I
was
had like a
off.
creepy dream, but I don't remember it.
I just assumed my dream was because I sent Albert off into the water and I haven't heard from him yet.
Do you want us to check on Albert? It's true, you did.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of a
I'm
no
not-
feeling from this place, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's in the water. I haven't left the ship yet.
Well, I'm asking because yesterday the islander we talked to seemed to, go on about dreams, and yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but the only dreams I have at this point are just, related, so yeah, pretty much at this point.
Yeah, I've unsettled to say the least. When I just went on my walk, this is not my usual fare of spirit chat. A little unsettling is not even strong enough a word. Terrifying, really. So I think we should all stay a little bit on edge. It's fine to be on edge today. If you all agree, because we're a democracy.
It's okay.
If
I'm
you-
feeling edgy.
Okay, cool. You look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I need to shave my head. It's been a little while. You see, it's growing out a little bit.
What's the color of Rose's hair?
You see some black stubbles.
Okay. It's like bright pink. I knew it.
Is there,
Trixie?
I've
No.
I've been curious, is there any reason you shave your head, Rose? Is it just a style thing?
Hair is heavy.
I can't argue with that. I was just wondering, because you have really nice tattoos on there, so
Well, I mean,
I don't
You-
know, I
you-
was curious. Sorry, I'm
you-
trying to
you
distract
can't-
myself a lot right now.
you can't see the tattoos if I have. That's my phone. I'm sorry.
I'm like, there's reception in Tal'Dorei? Fuck!
We're at the Ascended Host.
They've got 4 bars. Holy
no.
shit.
They do. Yeah, but you can't see the tattoos if my hair grows out. So yeah.
Did you get all of your tattoos at once, or was it like a collecting sort of thing? Get one and then you're like, I think I'll have another.
Is it an addiction?
I mean, most of my tattoos on my bodies are just a collection. A lot of them. It's just in my family we get tattoos. It's just, nature. And then,
Oh, so-
yeah.
So it's just that's the kind of meaning is you just really like nature?
I don't know if they have meaning. It's just sort of traditional to get nature represented on you, on your body as you grow up. I mean, my first one was my chest. I was 12 years old when I got it.
So it
12.
Yes.
Wow.
for the child. I mean, I have a couple of tattoos myself, but I only got them as an adult. Wow.
I mean, it's fairly common in our tribe.
I don't have any tattoos. Do they hurt? It feels like they hurt.
I
It
mean,
feels
sounds
like a
This is so
cat's
meta.
claw just scratching at you for like a good while.
I mean, if we find the tools, maybe I can give you one, Cult.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just don't think you. Maybe somewhere someone can't see it.
Oh, come on, you're already the rebel child in your family, aren't
Yeah,
you?
what's a tattoo that no one can see?
I wouldn't even know what to get. I'll think about it. Anyhow, I'll help with the dishes, and he starts like clearing up the dishes.
The 4
Oh,
dishes.
by the way, what's that?
The 4 dishes.
The 4
Such a
dishes, yeah.
mess in here.
Look at the finish on this wood. But he did want to mention, he's like, did we ever divvy up the gold that we earned from our last little venture?
I don't believe so.
Because I think we were supposed to do that out of game, and I've just have looked at my notes. Like, oh right, we were supposed to do that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can put a pin in that for
maybe-
now. I don't think there's much shopping to be done here, so I think you're safe for a little bit.
Okay.
I
This
have
is
a lot
bustling
more
metropolis.
I had a
Oh.
lot more gold. I have a lot more gold than I used to, so I think
Yeah,
we
we
figure
did.
that up.
Okay. Marvelous.
Hey,
I have money.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. I'll take these. Rose, where's the galley?
Oh, here, I'll show you.
Okay.
And I go with you. And I introduce
This
you
is
to
how-
Remy.
Oh, hi, Remy.
Remy, this is my friend Cult. He really much enjoyed the food so far.
It's been very good.
well, I've had some help from Miss Rose.
Rose is always very helpful. We appreciate her all the time. But I wanted to say what.
Remy
Yes.
has a really impressive collection of spice.
You're not supposed to.
Secret. Cult
If-
is my friend. Cult is my friend.
Remy, it's not. It's fine. Her intentions are nothing but honorable. Remembering all how his sister found out that he had died.
Can't tell Rose's secret.
no, that's obvious. And you can go back to the other two if they have any strong silences to have.
Well, I'll say before I go back to the other two, once you guys drop off the dishes and you head out, Cult, you feel a tug on your sleeve, and you turn around to be face to face with squish-faced Remy. Don't you let Rose get into no trouble. I have knives. I'll cut you. And then he turns around and goes back to work.
Oh, thoroughly chilled. Colt will just go, oh, really nice finish on this wood. Okay.
That's the default.
Yeah.
Look at this. There's no wood. I need to find some wood to inspect.
I'm in an open space. No. Excellent.
Nagheim Viria, was there anything you guys want to talk about or do?
Nagheim's gonna try to reach out telepathically to Albert, who is still a shark, who Nagheim asked to inspect the waters as much as they can to see if A, Albert is alive, well, there on the plane, and B, if Albert found anything.
Somebody tell me, or Nagheim, you can look up one thing. I'll ask everybody else another thing. Number one, are sharks more common to be found in cold waters or warm waters, like tropical waters?
They're all over the world, my
All
friend.
They are?
over,
It
baby.
depends
I
on
can
the
tell you what
species.
species you'll find. It turns out I'm a bit of a shark nut, so
I
That's
love
cool.
sharks so much. That's why I picked
sharks
one.
so much.
I'm just going off like the 4 Jaws movies that I've seen, so I'm just curious, okay?
We stand sharks in this
There's
house.
been sharks in the
Fantastic.
Nova Scotian waters. There's like, they don't give a fuck.
There's
Right.
a website you can use to track sharks, and they have names. So you can
When
like
I was
look
a
up
kid-
where your favorite shark is at the moment, and like where they went, and like where they traveled. It's great.
I really wanted to be a marine biologist when I was a kid, so
Okay. Fantasy world. We will gush about sharks.
fantasy marine biology. Let's go.
There you go. So, no, Albert is still kicking around. Oh, check your volume is a little low for some reason.
I think
Yeah,
you
it's
might
turned
have,
down a bit.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
I clicked my thing.
No
I have
worries.
to just put it behind my shoulder.
Yeah, like I do. So yeah, Albert is still there. Was there something you wanted to find out through them or something?
See if there was any cave, because sharks don't really sleep. They just have to always be moving.
Yeah.
So that's why I did a shark. And it was just so Albert can look around the water if there's any caves or structures or anything that would be
Not
down
that
there.
they could find. I mean, they relay things like there's stingrays down there. There's larger schools of fish. A couple of larger fish that are kind of foreign to them that are down there as well. But aside from being very much warmer than any waters that they're knowledgeable about. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Keep in mind, this is one of like several islands, so
Well, it's just because since Veery points downwards, my thought was, well, down.
no, it's a good thought. Yeah. All right.
I'll just,
Do you want to leave Albert in the water, or do you want them
I'll
back?
take the time. I'll burn the incense and bring back my bird.
Okay.
Bring back my food.
So just as about that time when the spell is about to complete itself and Albert will return to you as a bird, you all kind of stretch yourselves on the bow of the ship, looking over the waters, and you see, just like out of Jaws, like come out of the water, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" into a bird. "Hey, what's up?" And then Albert floats back to you.
I thought you were gonna throw a big shark at us. Just like it's on the boat.
Lunchtime.
Well, Viria, this is your jaunt, so what is your thoughts on how we should proceed? I know we have to go down into the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing was found directly around us, so.
Nagheim, can I bother you to message my brother? Or is it best we wait till later to see how today goes? Okay.
I can only cast so many spells.
Okay,
so-
Martin said no one was hurt. It was just, okay, I'm just gonna wipe it from my mind for the time being. Let's focus. What were we
As
doing?
soon as we're done here, we'll just use the ring and go back to sleep. I think.
Yeah, okay,
We can let the captain know and
Sure. Speaking of which, Captain Amarisco.
Hello.
Hi. Are you and your folks off today?
No, I think we've got a
Were
few
you-
more repairs to do to the ship before we take off, and
Okay.
we're gonna see about, like I said, see if there's any opportunities for trade here now that we can get through. See if they know of any kind of extra things to help us get through again. So we'll
Not
be here
too-
maybe no more than 2 or 3 days, I think.
Not
Okay,
to
so
dash
we-
your hopes, but they didn't seem very open to the idea of trade.
Not the friendliest of folk. I wouldn't stray far from the ship.
I don't plan to.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird feeling.
Yeah. We'll keep our eyes open, see if anybody kind of comes our way, so we'll kind of know who to talk to, if anybody. But if not, I mean, there's a whole section of these islands where we can go to. Apparently, another city on the other side. So if we strike one, maybe the other one will be an opportunity.
Fair
Is
enough.
it any trouble if we continue to bed down on the ship at the time being while you're here?
As long as we're here, no, that's totally fine.
Thank you very much.
Don't you guys have somewhere to be, though?
We are going on a bit of an exploration today, a little safari.
Okay.
See what we can dig up regarding our mission, and yeah, should be fun.
All right. Well, yeah, if you guys are back this way by nightfall, you can always crash on the ship. That's not a problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back to the mission night then.
Yeah, so, well, I guess just follow me. I'm still quite unsettled by that, but,
Are we just following your feeling then? I think that's really the only option open. All right, gear up, folks. Let's go
That's easy
swimming.
enough.
Everyone can swim, right?
Yeah, I can swim.
Does Nagheim know how to swim?
I
Can you
asked
tell
you
me?
last session, you bitch.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, you were
Yeah,
so
you
uppity
told
about
me-
it too.
you were,
You're
like,
like, I
so
can
insulted. You
swim
were
in
like,
ponds
"Of course I
and
can."
yeah,
Yeah.
in puddles.
I can swim in
No,
puddles.
like
and-
I've just like never been on a boat. I know how to swim. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Like
but now it's like,
LMJ.
then it's like, oh, I think that it's like, yeah, that's ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I asked.
Now I
Although,
know-
I
to
know.
be fair, you did mention like one of your solutions was that you have potions of water breathing. So, there
But
you go.
still, I will say from my scuba diving experience, breathing underwater doesn't make it easy to swim.
No.
Pressure.
It's pressure, and it's just I'm quite okay walking on ground. I am the least graceful creature underwater. It's just all limbs and imbalance, and it's wild.
I can't wait to see this play out if it comes to that.
Oh dear God. It's
Well,
gonna
I
be-
used to swim competitively.
And you were such a good swimmer.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah. So, it's about close to noon by now. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Well,
What are we doing?
oh yeah. What a dick.
Fuck you!
I mean,
The god. Not
I know.
you.
Well, the first thing I'll do as we step off the airship is look for a lighthouse.
Okay. From where you guys landed, I guess I should clue you in on the map here. Take you away from the scary, put you onto the big world. So if you guys scoot down to the bottom right-hand corner of the map, you'll see the circle that I put around the island that you guys landed on. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 mountain peaks on that single island, with surrounding jungle all around the terrain. Now, you're on the westernmost tip of the island, where the spiral kind of town is. So from where you are, you can't see any lighthouse. So you'll probably have to go around the perimeter of the island or get to a higher plane to see, you know, if you can see anything that resembles that. Now, one might be a little less treacherous than the other, so I will leave it up to you. Do you want to stay on the borders or do you want to go higher elevation?
I would say higher elevation. Oh, no, borders, because a lighthouse is obviously going to be near the water, so...
Okay.
Except by hiking up, you would get a better view of this entire island's layout. Also, the maps I found said the heart of the shattered teeth. Maybe that's a clue as to where we need to head.
Oh, like the heart
Like
of the
the-
island.
Well, the archipelago, so...
Wait. If I remember correctly, the map of the shattered teeth that we have, isn't one of the islands in the shape of a heart, roughly?
Wait, yeah, Colt, can you bring the map out?
Brings the map out, spreads it out.
That one.
The one we're on. Is that the
No.
one we're on? Oh, this one. Because
Rukva.
if you
It's-
look at the one we're on, it does look like a heart, but it's upside down.
Matter of perspective, I guess.
Wait, so are there two hearts?
Yeah, for some reason I had the...
Kind of like how there are two moons, maybe. Or maybe I'm just...
I mean, even in the waters, though, and Nagheim will trace over the map with their quill.
Wait, but this one here looks like a heart too.
You can get the heart in the very middle of them.
How does that look like a heart, Rose?
I
if
mean-
you like turn it around, it looks like a heart.
it
Ooh,
sorta
this one also looks like a heart.
Okay,
But-
Rose. It does
but
look
if-
like a broken heart.
But if you look in the middle,
Well, shattered teeth,
Here.
heart, shattered heart. You see what I mean?
Can I
This one here.
roll an intelligence check?
Yeah. Everybody make an intelligence check.
That way.
I was like, this can circle a lot.
18. Wow. I'm on fire
La
tonight.
la.
no, you rolled a
Intelligence
natural.
check.
I'm
Wait.
not.
If
Oh, wait,
Rose
that natural
gets
20 is from
like
before.
the highest, I'm gonna laugh my tits
Oh.
off. That tracks.
So I rolled a 1 because I have a -2 for
Yep.
chat
That's amazing.
on intelligence.
So I will
Everything
say,
I just said.
between Nagheim and Viria, both of you, you have a feeling that as cryptic as these maps have been, it seems illogical that they would be completely obvious about a literal shape of a heart. And just as everybody, even Rose, is pointing out, like, there are multiple places, especially the nice purple, like, highlighted ones, you know, that they're putting out there. I mean, they look like hearts, but they're this way, they're that way, they're this way. And you're guessing this also could look like a heart. If you put these two together, that could be... So you feel like everybody is kind of grasping at straws, trying to make the puzzle pieces fit that idea. The only thing you have to go on now is just what you've been shown. So, logically, go with the constant and then see if the pieces will come to light. Like a lighthouse.
Ooh.
There you go.
I'm just showing off now. But yeah, they're not bad ideas. But it's just you don't have any concrete evidence to support it yet.
I would say we go with your dream, lighthouse.
And with that, Nagheim's going to throw Albert up to the sky, and like, you all say you want an aerial view. Did you forget we literally have a bird?
Did you
Right
forget?
here. No, I was pointing to him, but I couldn't get a word in. I tried.
Colt's got a big-
To be
Colt's got a
fair,
big grin.
he was a fish 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, literally 2 minutes ago it was a shark.
Yes, and I still tried to point. Anyway, Albert's giving us the bird's eye view.
Long-suffering Nagheim.
Having to compose with 3 idiots.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
very well educated.
how far and how fast are you sending Albert?
I'm just gonna send Albert up and be like, just fly ahead. And if you see anything, come back.
Okay. And where are you guys going?
Maybe wait for. I would suggest that everyone sort of get suited up for the weather and prepare their gear and wait for Albert's recon. Or if the team wants, we can just start walking the perimeter
Okay.
of the island. How? Now there's 4 peaks on it. Is it going to take days to make it all the way around?
Well,
by
that's what I
walking?
was going to say. So, I try and do this quick map. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. So, number one, Nagheim, look this up while I talk about the details here. How fast can Albert fly?
60 feet.
Hey, all right. Now, anybody else wants to Google this, how many feet are in a mile? That would be great. Because this island across from the western point where you are to the eastern point is 200 miles. I'll let you know right now, each one of these squares is 200 square miles.
5,282 feet in a mile.
Okay, so divide that by 60.
I don't have the calculator open.
I thought you had it in your hand. I'm so sorry.
I have it. I just Googled it.
Okay.
What site?
Just on Instagram.
Just
what?
checking Twitter. Wow.
I would be that obnoxious too.
I know my sliver wizard.
So what? Divided by.
And just for the
60
chat's sake, because I see it in there, I'm counting kilometers and miles is the same thing in this fantasy world because I can't be
Yeah, it's
bothered.
measure of distance.
Yeah.
What? Why don't I have a back?
They big.
It was divided by 60, right?
Yes, sir.
88.
88. Okay. So. Oh shit! Now I need to do something.
And what's you don't have to see through Albert's eyes throughout the entire time. He
Nope.
can just relay info back to you.
Within 1,000 feet or so, or 100 feet, something like that. But he can just see it if he's flying and sees a lighthouse. He can just be like, "There it is, cool. I'm gonna come back now,"
Okay.
because he's a being of his own.
I would say if you guys wanted to sit around and wait for Albert to even travel a mile, it would probably be an hour or two.
It's a lot of time we're wasting. Well, how about we follow the path that Albert's taking? So if Albert, say, is heading north,
Mm-hmm.
or
I mean-
northeast, as it were, we start trekking northeast.
Sure.
And we could also just do the opposite side of Albert.
Oh yeah, and yeah, could sort of meet in the middle, and then we can sort of that's a better idea.
That way, Albert gets one version of the side, we get the other. And if we have to travel through, we at least know.
Okay.
So do we say Albert goes south and you guys go north?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
So what does Viri's hand say? Is there like a pull, or is it just down?
Viri? Which
Very
way?
point north.
Yeah. She kind of points northeast.
Oh, look, it's northeast. It is. Colt's going to.
I would relay that to Albert, though, real quick. Like,
Change
No.
course.
change of course, go fast.
Fair
Like,
enough.
Albert's gonna do full speed plus action constantly to just get there as fast until he can. Look, my little celestial bird can do what he wants, okay?
I don't doubt it. Albert is the best of us. All right.
Colt's gonna fill his water skin. He's gonna take some rations. He's preparing, just
I'm gonna
like
deal with him
hunting trips with Dad.
Are you guys looking into any kind of horses, or are you just going by foot?
Is there horses on the island?
I'm
Got a
gonna
real
go ask for
tropical.
horses.
No one's
I will
asked.
go
So,
ask.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
We'll go
Rose,
up
you head
to the
into the
villager.
village, and you're looking
like-
around. What?
That's what I said. Like, I'm gonna go to the village and be like, yo, hi, horsies. You got some?
We don't take kind to horses on this island.
Oh, okay. Do you have camels?
I don't rightly know what that is.
Okay. Do you have like what do you use to travel to go fast that are not your legs? Like maybe a cow or a bee.
If you are not faster than cow, maybe you should not walk.
You make a really good point. So you don't use horses.
No.
So you walk everywhere.
Yes.
How many steps do you do every day?
I do not count my
That's
steps.
interesting. Oh. Well, you look like you're really, really fit, so I think walking everywhere probably keeps
This
you
person is
really,
squat
really
and
healthy.
stout and, just bulbous. They do not look like a picture of health, but good on you, Rose.
Yeah. Okay.
Rose, any horses?
Through the hearing?
They're probably just standing a little ways off.
Nah, they don't have any.
I'd like to point out that the top speed of a cow is 40 kilometers an hour.
So,
Can be fast.
Rose is gonna keep trying to small talk to the villager, be like, so you have a good night of sleep, huh?
Okay, now Colt's doing the earring. He's like, Rose, we should really get on. If they don't have anything, let's go.
Anyway, thank you for your help. You were so nice to talk to you. I hope you have a really good day. Hope you get those 12K steps today. I'll see you later. Bye.
Dream be believed.
Ooh, yes. Go dreams. Uh-huh. And then she leaves.
Does anyone here ever dreamed of lighthouses by any chance?
Ah,
Yes, because
Yeah.
dreams. Oh, they do it automatically.
Dreams.
excuse me. Excuse me. I have another question for you.
She's kind of walked away.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna like come a little bit after her.
No one
Yeah.
walks away from Rose.
Oh, but she's definitely trying. She's trying to turn her back and walk away, and she kind
Yeah,
of
but
like
they're very
serpentines.
squat, you said.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying she's succeeding. Okay, you asshole. I'm saying that she is quickly trying to walk away and ignore the lovely Rose.
Hi. Sorry, I forgot to ask you a question. I'll leave you alone after. Hi.
How far are you gonna go?
Did she respond?
No.
Is there another villager around then?
There's a lot, but they've kind of
Rose.
seen this whole interaction and they are avoiding eye contact with all y'all.
Rose, as much as I think this is amusing,
Yeah.
maybe
I
we shouldn't bother them anymore.
I just wanted
We
to
did
ask.
we
if
did
they-
tell them we kind of would leave them alone. So.
We
I
kind of
just
we
wanted to
kind of
ask if they know about where we can find a lighthouse. That's all.
Oh, but that's a fair question.
I'm gonna turn to another villager and be like, "Can I ask you a question? Hi, how are you?"
Same kind of thing. They're trying to collect their things and move about their business, but keep going.
Do you know where I can find a lighthouse?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a tall building with like a light that goes wee woo on top of it, and
No.
it's very practical for ships.
No. No
Usually they're
ships.
white. Okay, yeah,
And then
no,
they
no ships.
Walk away.
Okay. Good luck.
Well, we tried.
I go back to the rest of the group a little bit defeated.
Well, maybe. Is there even a lighthouse? You know, if there is, it's obviously not on here. So.
Like, what's this whole thing about like dream people leave? Why do they all say that?
We're not even near them.
Do we all hear that?
The entire village is chanting it. Yeah, you hear it.
Oh,
Or was it
Okay.
a whisper?
When do we say that word? Do they all chant and echo? Like, if I say dream,
okay.
You hear
Let's go. We can test this the further away we go.
okay, dream. Okay, they didn't hear that one. Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a bit of delay on that one though.
That's because I'm an asshole.
How did they know? How did they know?
Oh man, the troll in me is just like wanting to go like dream, 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 dream.
Oh no, my brains!
Oh no.
Help.
Wisdom saving throw.
We should test it out though. Like, as
Yeah.
we're walking further away from the village. Talk about
Alright.
our dream.
Think I'm not on the ball here.
Okay, and we're on our
Let's-
way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go now and I'll start walking in whatever direction. Like,
I'll take lead, but I'll kind of like ask Viria to sort of stay sort of near me as like she feels the pull. So if she feels anything unusual, then we can change direction.
and let's wait to see what Albert has to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, all right. So as you guys start heading northeast to the northern tip of the island, everybody make...
I see her smiling.
What?
Nothing. Please continue. We're just being juvenile.
Oh, what? Did I say something?
The northern tip.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And I did get your message earlier today. Foo, foo, foo. I didn't even mean it that way. I totally meant it that way. I'm glad someone caught it.
Oh.
You guys head to the dick of the island.
Oh, the dick of the
The
island.
dick of the island, yes.
Isn't that the island south of us?
That's a
See it.
misshapen dick.
That's a happy.
Oh, no. Oh, there we
Like-
go. Now that I look, yep. And that's the...
Just the tip of the island.
Gotcha. Right. Anyway, so you head in that direction. Everybody, I will say you have your choice, whichever one would benefit you better. Everybody make either a survival check or a perception check.
Oh my god, I can use my survival.
They're the same.
I'm gonna use my survival because I get a plus.
Rose is shaking.
Whoa, I'm on fire. Sorry.
What is going on? You're rolling well.
This is so much fun because I am proficient in both. So I'm gonna do survival today.
Technically, that's an 11 from me because I am ghostly proficient in it today.
What happens if
Rose, however, and you have a plus 5 to yours.
It's about time my plus 6 worked.
There you go.
I have +5 in both survival and perception, and I managed to roll a plus. Oh, not one.
Actually, Nagheim, roll twice with because Albert's going on. And we'll take the higher.
I mean, Albert's perception is different, though.
Sure, that's fine. Oh, wave of inspiration incoming. You did it!
Albert's a
That's
6.
my
We
girl!
heard it. We heard it.
Oh, that's a 6? I'm sorry?
Yeah, for
Okay.
Albert.
No worries.
I would like to apologize to everyone in the chat right now listening to this nonsense. But
Oh,
also,
it's
no, I'm
brilliant.
not sorry.
I'm talking.
No, we're having the best time.
That's what I meant.
I know, you're a dick.
They know what they signed up for.
Rose, take an inspiration.
There you
I
go.
rolled on you.
You get a burp
Oh, thank
inspiration. Okay, so Nagheim. Yeah, so far you don't see anything lighthouse-ish. And Viri, I'd say you're practically neck and neck. You guys are looking around, you're looking for even like the slightest little outcropping from the shoreline, but nothing as of yet. You keep looking over to the mountains like, shit, maybe we should go to elevation. No. We'll tackle this first and then we'll come to that. So you guys,
plan.
yeah, you guys have walked about for 3 hours now. And the typical walking speed for all of you is 30 feet, correct?
30.
Minus
Average.
30.
I'm 45.
Yeah. I think only Rose is faster than all of us.
Okay.
Because I'm tiny.
But I'm thinking you'd probably stick with the group, correct?
Well, and I'll do like the wee and then be like wee, wee type of thing.
All right. So you
Kinda
guys
like a dog
travel
eye.
about 1.5 miles, so 3, 4.5. You guys get about 4.5 miles around this island that's 200 miles across.
Well, Nagaheim / Albert. No great structure thrusting up into the sky.
Well, Albert would have to come back. Because if you notice, he's not around. So I can't communicate with him as of right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hat on. Keep the sun off my head and shoulders.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be better off carrying my armor with me
And I mean-
or on me at this point.
Depending on how far it all is, could we maybe just ask the captain to fly us over?
Ooh, that's a possibility. I just feel like the lighthouse is a good lead, you know? Dreams obviously have some state of importance here.
But
I'm
Whoa,
kidding. I'm
okay.
kidding. I'm totally fucking with you.
no, I meant if we intend to go to that side and we have like over a day's travel on foot.
Now, when we used to do the hedge maze back home, when we were quite young, Nell and I would constantly get lost in it until Father told us to do the maze properly, if you wanted to see every single part of it, is you put one hand on the wall and just keep it on that wall, and eventually you will see every single part of the maze. So I'm sort of thinking of this as we're putting our hand at the coastline and then walking our way around, and sort of got the idea from the village. I'm thinking we almost spiral inwards, and we sort of don't miss anything. I mean, it's going to take a while, but we also kind of have a little bit of a compass with Viria.
It's true, but
That's
are you
my
going to be okay, Nagheim? Because you're not used to walking so much. I don't want this to sound offensive. I'm sorry.
I'm also not used to death, so here I am. So
You had to remind me.
I was just thinking to save time if the ship took us from one end of the island to the other. That's all. Or even a rowboat, so we don't have to walk the entire way.
Yeah, that might be for the best. And if we end up, well, actually, yeah, maybe taking a boat could could work. If we have to go down, we'll already be on the water.
I think a boat could work because there's no wall to do the maze thing.
Well, it was sort of a metaphorical wall, is the coast,
Oh.
because we're looking for a lighthouse. Do you know what a metaphor is, Rose? It's like a thing that's like another thing. No?
So I will say, as you're having this educational little powwow with Rose there, are we still heading northeast, or are you guys planning to head back at this point?
I think, yeah, it sort of sounds like we're discussing turning back
Okay.
and doing the airship plan. If that's
I mean, I don't know about turning back because if they didn't have anything, and the village, the people of the village, they don't seem to want to loan us anything. I
Yeah,
don't think
that's-
Oh,
No,
sorry. I
the
assumed that
ship.
the sky ship was going to lend you one of their
Yeah.
rowboats.
Yeah,
That's my thought. Talk to our
used-
allies.
My
We
bad.
used the
Yeah.
boat to get to shore.
Yeah, I was
At the same,
assuming we could just borrow the boat from the people who flew us here.
I will
Alright.
say that,
that's a good idea too.
yeah, I will say that you guys get about 3 to 4.5 miles walking. With a small rowboat, you'd get 16 miles per hour.
Well, crumbs. Let's go back. That's a very good idea.
There you go.
We should have thought of it earlier.
All right. So
I didn't want
here's
to interrupt.
No, that's totally cool. You guys finally get back, and unfortunately, this is
He found something. Albert found something.
unfortunately you see that sunset is coming because it's about 6-7 p.m. by the time you guys get back to the village and where you can get the boat to the airboat. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna deal with it. I'm putting the bubble up when it's nighttime if I'm not back.
Sounds good. So that's what happened.
Colt was gonna ask Nagheim to message.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll say when they get back, we'll let that play out. But is everybody bedding down, or wait, you want to discuss with the captain, I imagine, first?
Oh yeah. Furia, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go ask for a boat. We're staying on board for the night and trying again tomorrow. Yes, okay. Captain Amarusco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go look for the captain.
Okay. You discuss for a little bit, and sure enough, she has a boat that currently isn't being used. And thinking about the logistics of it all, you could probably get to your destination and back within a couple days, or 2 or 3 days, and they wouldn't mind sticking around in order to get the boat back and all that.
We can also buy the boat off of you.
Or there's that option too. Yeah.
If cause yeah, we're not being very efficient on foot. It's just way too hot.
Put down a deposit.
I'll say because they consider 1 silver piece per mile when you're traveling or renting. 16 is times 10. I will say 10 gold. It's just a rowboat, so I mean it's.
What's one less? All right. Yeah. Well, we'll put that on the tab. Thank you.
Done deal.
Shoot.
And Nagheim does some amazing magic to create a bubble. This goes on for
Captain's
quite
not
some
in the
time,
mood
and
for
it is very cinematic and epic. Albert even says, "Holy fuck, that's a great bubble!" I know. There's only so much I can drag out, you guys.
Well, it's 7:30 CT. We could take an early break. Oh no, they're back.
And so that's how Nagheim died.
Yay!
Real tragedy.
Yay!
Impaled by
okay.
Albert.
So I'm gonna make to back the artificer who is obsessed with making like yarn cannons.
Hey, Negheim, you're still alive. Can you message my brother, please?
Yeah,
If that's okay.
yeah.
I mean, we didn't get too much done today, so.
Rose,
I
want to
mean-
play dice? Come on, Rose, you want to play dice?
Yeah, let's play dice.
Rollies!
Bring her.
Okay, it's just going to his mind, so we can be a little bit more blunt with what we're saying.
25 board.
Oh, but he might not know why Dad and Mom left. Okay, and he says, for way too long, to the point where maybe Nagheim's just better off on their own, trying to just make it work. I just want to know why they left, and where Nell is, and if he's okay running the estate, and that we'll be home pretty soon. Something like that.
Nagheim's eyes are just gonna glaze over, and when you look, you're gonna actually notice almost like the same type of golden flourishes and sparkles that come around Nagheim's eyes, arms and such are actually just happening in their eyes. And I'm gonna send a message to Tens.
I'm counting.
And Viri, roll 3d6, please. Separately.
Hello, Tens. We got news about the family. Are you okay to run it alone? How is your sister? What happened? I hope you are okay.
Pretty much bang on. Good job.
So fairly quickly you get a response.
Stress.
Fairly quickly you get a response that says, "Hey, it's you. I was waiting for you to call. What's up? Everything's great. I'm fine. So fine. How are
You
you? I like the tea. You know, I got." That's about it. You get the sense,
Call.
not that you've ever experienced it yourself, but you do get the sense that Tens was shit-faced. So
Yep. Yeah, Nagheim, like, as it comes in, even through the, because it's, Nagheim's eyes go back to normal, and at first there's that look of, like, just waiting, and then the exact same look Nagheim gave all of you when he wanted to rob the place just takes over Nagheim's face.
It's burned into my soul.
Call. Tens is very drunk right now.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
And I'm gonna
Takes
send a
up to-
message to Auntie Orla.
Orloff.
Orloff, whatever.
You say that woman's name right.
I'm gonna
She
send
is a
message
gem.
to Auntie Orloff.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Good. That. Perfect.
Before you do, Rose, or sorry, Viria, what did you get?
Did you want me to tell each die separately or the total?
Yes, please.
I got a 2, a 3, and a 6.
Oh, shit. Okay. So Rose wins the first hand, you win the second hand, and you tie on the third hand. So everybody, well, no, sorry, Rose and Viri, roll one more d6, please. Rose, you win.
Yay!
Yay! Nagheim, what is the new message to Auntie Orloff?
Hi, it's Nagheim. How is everyone doing? Please check on Tens. What is your sister's name?
No.
Nell.
Those words count. No, they don't.
Bitch.
Where is Nell? Is everything okay?
Okay.
You have 8 more.
Oh, Cult is safe, but upset.
Okay. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Message or sending cannot go between planes of existence, correct?
It can.
It can?
What? It can?
So sending has I believe a small percentage of not working. What spell level is this?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I
So-
thought
You're gonna
otherwise.
say that.
You can cross and into entirely different planes of existence, but if the target's on a different plane, then there's a 5% chance that the message does not arrive. So it can go through.
Okay, roll a d20.
No, it's a percentile dice. Oh,
Oh.
you do it the way you want.
Yeah, a percentile, so that's 100.
And yeah, and if it rolls 5 or under, oh no. If it rolls 5 or under, that means, damn it, how does it work? I had this
It's either
explained to me.
5 or under, it doesn't
Roll a
work. or it's
d20.
nine-
If you get a natural 1, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
That's fair. I can't remember how percentages
14.
work in this game.
Okay, it works.
Okay.
What were you asking again?
If the message goes through to Auntie Orloff if she's on another plane.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
What was
it
the
does.
message again? Not
Uh,
word for word, just bullet point.
Check on 10s.
Okay.
Where's Nell?
Where's Nell? Is the estate okay?
And Cult's
Cult's
fine.
Cult's
but worried.
fine, but upset.
I'm not entirely sure who I'm speaking to, but I imagine you're one of Cult's friends.
Oh, I'm not counting.
Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. I should be home tomorrow.
She doesn't remember who I am.
Auntie Orloff, with corporeal beings, can sometimes not take them. No, she forgets a lot. I'm sorry. She might not recognize your voice. You didn't speak with her very much.
The spell literally, they know who it is. I'm like,
It's my aunt is a little bit. She's a. Yeah, no, it's fine. But
it's supposed to. They're
if
supposed to
Auntie-
recognize me.
If Auntie Olaf says that everything is okay, that means things probably aren't, but it's nothing I have to rush home to.
Rose is just gonna poke her head and be like, I guess you didn't make an impression.
Wow, Rose is full of moxie right now. Gloating? Mocking?
And then Rose is gonna go back to throwing dice with Veery.
There you go.
Nagheim's just gonna look at Cult and be like,
I'm gonna burn that house to the ground.
I'm not good at hiding it. But I am up to here with everything going on. I
What?
just want someone to know.
Oh,
But focus on Veery.
oh,
like-
honey. And he'll go and sort of sit closer to Nagheim. It's like, what do you like?
I just need tea. I'm sure it'll pass.
Come on, well, spill the tea into my ears. That's how that saying works, I think. I don't know. Ten's friends say it. I don't understand. What's bothering you?
Everything.
Worth every stroke.
It's amazing. It's so worth it.
I'm gonna send you one, Jason.
Oh,
gonna send
please
you
do.
one.
Please do. I will frame it and put it over there. Somebody likes me. Anyway,
Love it. Well, you, as the normal, I don't know who I am, what I am. Constantly dealing with Viria, well, finally now not pushing us away. I am used to sitting in a room, reading books, alone, having myself and Albert only. I am trekking across the world when I have never left my, like 100 feet from my home before. I am trying to deal with somebody who is much different than who I'm usually dealing with. So I have absolutely no coping mechanisms for that. We are in blistering heat and scorching weather. And we're about to climb to the highest mountain if we cannot find this thing on the shoreline. I am trying to deal with emotions I have never had to deal with before in multiple different scenarios. It is a lot happening. Which is why we're going to focus on Viri. Things are going to work out. I'm going to send a quick message to Tens, and I'm just going to say, put the bottle down, go to bed.
I mean, you could join me if you like. I'm not going anywhere. This place is massive. I could find you a place. You could always stay in my room. I'm just saying, you know, this cooking sherry's real good.
Oh no, he's into the cookie sherry. Well, at least he's not in
My
the...
man.
Leave the expensive stuff alone, Tens.
Oh, it's already gone.
Oh no! Oh my god!
I'm
he's
kidding. You guys have so much shit. It would take a lifetime to get through it all. Anyway, regardless. So that is the message you get back, though.
Come on. And Colt extends his hand out to Nagheim. Come on,
Where?
come with me. Take my hand.
Where are
Do
we
you
going?
trust me? Not very far. Come on.
Okay, fine.
And as he walks past Rose and Viri, he's like, come on. Come on,
We're
both
just
of you."
like, both of us were just like,
Dice. Like green lights.
Put your,
Dice goblins.
Put your dice goblins away. Come on,
We're in the
everybody.
middle of a
Come with
game.
me.
it's fine. It's fine, Rose. I'll give you what you won. What you would have won.
Okay.
It's at that
no.
point you realize that as you were playing, everybody forgot to bet on anything. You were
We
just
didn't bet on
rolling the
anything, we
dice to see who would win.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like playing fish.
Yeah.
No one bets on Go Fish. All right, and Colt's gonna lead them off the ship and towards the beach.
This is where I
And-
die.
What's the night sky look like?
As per usual, just because you guys are still in fairly close proximity to the Fool's Curtain, it is rather overcast, unfortunately.
Is
The
there a
only reason
moon?
that you know there's a day-night cycle is because the sun does illuminate the clouds and the mist around you, but it's
Okay.
really hard to see anything beyond that.
We all have dark vision though,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. Colt's going to take off his boots and roll up his pantaloons, and he's just going to start walking into the water till he's about mid-calf height, and he's just going to, like, curl his toes in the sand. And he goes, all right, rest of you, come on.
Are we going for a swim?
Oh, we're just going to have a moment. Take off your
want-
shoes and
we-
socks and roll up your pants and come join me in the water, or for God's sake, I will come and do it for you. And he's gonna use his intimidation.
Rose just takes off her pants because they're leather pants, so
Yeah,
she's just in her underwear.
perfect.
That tracks.
You want me
And
to
she-
carry you?
and boots.
Nagheim?
No,
She's
Nagheim
just
has to
alive.
do it themselves. Yes, they have to take their shoes and their socks off, and they have to come and step into the water. Just do it.
Can I just... I can stay on dry land.
Do I really have to make you guys make rolls for this?
Colt turns, and I do have double proficiency in intimidation.
Nagaheim, we're about to get on the boat. You might as well get
This
used
is-
to being wet.
This is for everyone. Come and stand with me. And he puts his hands out, and he does
That
grab
time is-
hands.
Hail.
And literally, he's just about like mid calf, and he starts walking till he's just the tops of his feet are wet. And if the girls joined him,
Agheim, I got you.
Okay. I will like
I'll stay next to you.
deep
Okay?
breaths and pretty much breathe through the fact that they're going into the ocean for the first time in their life.
I'm just gonna like circle around them and grab both of their hands and just like walk backwards to the water, guiding them. Just don't think about it, okay?
that's so cute. I'm gonna die.
Eyes on me. Come on. They're glowing. It's easy.
Is the water temperature cool or warm?
Hot.
It's hot. It's like, a
bath
bathtub.
water. Yep.
Perfect. Now, have you stepped in?
Yeah.
You feel the sand? Wiggle your toes.
It's kind of gross.
But it sort of massages. Now, smell and look up. I wish there were stars, but that's all I want you to think about is the sand between your toes, the sea air, and the sky. And nothing else.
And as you all look up, you smell the salt water of the ocean. The warm, calming laps of the waves coming in and brushing across your shins up to your knees. The squish of the soft sand beneath your toes. You even wriggle them enough so that your feet kind of get buried within it and then pull them right back out again and do it all over again. And even though there's no stars to see in the sky, the moon that hides behind the mist does illuminate some of the wisps of steam and moisture in the air to make it almost look like distant fireflies are making their way over top and across the island. And a soft rumble of the Fool's Curtain in the backdrop, hidden in darkness. And it's nice to have that sort of physical and audible distraction from everything that's going on in your lives right now. There is so much that seems to overwhelm all of you. That at least in this, you can have this moment of peace and solitude. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, that was so nice.
Well done.
Well, thank you.
Mm.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta pee.
Yeah. Well, it's
Colt,
not
Colt.
official until we see a little diagram to tell us what to do.
Oh!
Oi!
And do you guys want a special drawing from my partner? Let's see if it'll focus.
I'm stealing your car, Robert.
So cute.
I can't wait to meet him. All right.
Oh, God.
Colt strips off. He goes, enough of that. Colt strips off and runs in skinny dips and pees in the ocean.
Hey.
There
And
we
we'll
go.
see if everybody else joins you when we come back from break. All right.
Hey.
Everybody stick around. We're going to be back in about 5-10 minutes. See you in a bit.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back. Let's get naked.
I'm good, thing. I'll get a blanket, curl up on a bonfire on the beach with a nice beer.
Colt waits just before he hits the water before taking the underwear off, but so you get a little flash of his bum, and then flings it towards Nagheim. You don't have to come in, but watch my shit.
Not my literal shit,
Rose is
because my
just-
bum, but...
Rose is just literally disrobing, no pudeur,
Just
and
gonna-
just running into the water, and my shirt sort of like lands into Nanheim's face. Sorry.
Gonna use Mage Hand to collect everyone's clothing and bring it to the shore, and I'm gonna start cleaning it as I just sit in the sand.
Someone's
I'll
got to
watch
be
the-
the pool mom, so yes,
I'll
that's
watch.
fine.
I'll watch the purses.
Viria?
Do you want company, Nagheim?
If you want, but feel free to join. I can hear you all. And
Yeah,
I'm
Colt
not
and Rose
going
are in a
far.
splash fight.
I'll just sit next to them for a little bit.
Cult and Rose, make attack rolls.
Oh my god, unarmed. What's my unarmed?
Oh, fuck
No,
me.
it's not good. It's not good.
Cult, Rose hits you with a splash that goes right up your nose, and you kind of do that flail like, I'm okay, that didn't bother me at all. And then she gives you like a big tidal wave one that just knocks you on your ass into the water. So hard that your little toesies come up and like...
I would like to grab Colt by the toes and be like, "You okay?"
Cult, you are raised out of the water, and it's almost like you're kind of like, you remember that scene in Captain America Civil War where the guy is upside down and the water is just going slowly up to his nose? So it's kind of like that, because you're just like, sometimes you're out of the water and something...
I'd imagine since Colt's quite a bit taller than Rose, that he's like bent up. And he goes, how are you lifting me? Don't look at my bits. Don't look at my bits.
Well, not only that, you're like trying to like do that kind of like crunch thing. So you're like trying to cover your bits, but at the same time you're drowning. And then occasionally you look up and in the moonlight you see Rose's bits and you're like, ah, no.
I would like to extricate myself from Rose's grip using
Make
some sort
a...
of rogue thing.
Yeah. Make a
It's,
contested
acrobatics?
dexterity versus strength check.
All right. Can I use acrobatics?
Sure. And I'll say Rose can use athletics.
Oh. What? Ah, it's a 20. It's a dirty 20.
And she
Oh,
got
shit.
a 22. So you're bobbing and weaving trying to duck out, but your bits are flapping all over the place and you're seeing her bits coming closer and closer every time you do it. It's just like, no, just none of this.
Colt's making a conscious effort to close his eyes.
There you go.
Rose
Makes
has
it
absolutely
so much harder.
no regard for like
Bits and bobs. Yeah.
bits and bobs and nudity that doesn't bother her. So she's just like, my friend is upside down.
And Viria and Nagheim are watching all this from the shoreline.
Nagheim is not even like. Nagheim's just looking at Viria and just not blocking out the entire situations. Like,
If they were
It's
looking,
just like,
there's a lot of freckles. There's freckles all over. Very freckly.
I will finally release Colt and be like, "Weep," and kind of give him
The toss.
give him a little toss. Yeah.
at least they're having fun.
Rose is gonna
Are
say through
you?
the earring, "Come on, nerds, join us."
you might break them.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on land. It's dry. And I have clothing on.
And Colt will quietly say to Rose amongst the splashing, he's like, we got them in to their feet. I think that's a huge, huge accomplishment on our part. I think we did very well.
It was like, it looks like so much fun, but I don't want to leave my friend. I'm gonna stay with them.
Go. If you
I
want to
just
join.
stare at them, unimpressed.
Look. Like, Colt needs backup. He's clearly not strong enough to take on Rose.
So outmatched.
I'm just saying. He might need a bit of support out there.
Mm-hmm. But are
And
you
I'll-
good
I'm good. I'll kind of flick Viria and cast haste on her.
First haste! First haste!
Go help him out.
Oh, my computer's about to die. Hang on. Where's my? I didn't plug it in. Okay, no, it's fine. Continue.
As Cult blinks out of existence. Somewhere Thanos snapped his fingers.
Given a break to, tossing Colt, but she's still splashing him, going like hee 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 ha 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 hoo hoo hoo.
Is this a rage hee 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 ha 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 hoo hoo hoo, or is this a normal?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Happy-go-lucky Rose. She's
Gotcha.
not raging.
Excellent.
So before I also disrobe, I'll give Nagheim's handle a squeeze and tell them, thanks for being here.
No matter what, I wouldn't have it any other way.
You're very persistent, I noticed.
I know.
And I'll just leave, and what I'll do, I'm hasted of course, I'm gonna take advantage of the two of them like splashing around, and I'll just like go underwater and like swim up to whoever I see first. And I'll just like yank them down.
Dun, dun, dun,
That. If
Well-
one would look closely, they would just see like two like glowing dots underwater.
Roll a, oh god, that's terrifying. Roll a d20, Viria.
I'm like, where the fuck are my d20s? That's a 5.
Rose. Your butt gets a chomping.
Yeah, you turn around, there's just like 2 dots below water.
Rose will go like, ah!
Did something touch you? And Cole
It's
starts
Viri!
looking around nervously. Oh,
Do I realize it's Viri? Sorry. Do I realize that it's Viri in the water?
Make an intelligence check, please.
yeah, because we were having too much fun. We didn't notice.
Oh my god, intelligence.
Yes.
Where's my intelligence? Okay,
That's
there
what
it
we
is.
all ask each of us.
Every day.
Stumbles with Ukatoa.
Oh my god!
You
Roll a
realize
17.
and you kind of play it off like, oh my god, what is this strange thing? What is that strange noise?
That's our
Good
wizard.
lord.
That's our noisy sliver wizard.
There's popping bubbles, and I want them.
It's more of like the squeegee kind of like,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a stupid plastic. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, why don't you take the top off?
Or like mute.
I'll make
Yeah. I didn't want to come right out and say it, but
Well, it's just every time it mutes, it makes a tapping noise, and I get yelled at for it.
I haven't yelled at you yet for muting.
I've been yelled at by Fred and in chat, and then I got yelled at by chat for making tapping noise every.
No.
Well, yeah,
No.
I never
It
noticed.
was this that.
No, because when I do that.
Well,
it was
see,
when I first
that's
started with
fine
that
because
one.
as soon as you do the one tap, we don't hear the 25 other squeegee noises. Anyway, so Rose, yes, you realize it is Viria under the water. You try and play it off like, oh, there's 2 glowing fish. Oh my god.
Is there glowing fish? Where is there glowing fish? And Colt's gonna try and look.
It's a very, very scary glowing fish. Oh, back off, Colt.
I've moved behind Colt at this point.
Colt's gonna put his
careful.
face in the water and try to open his eyes. It probably stings. Oh, it stings! It stings!
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see. I can't see. Do you do anything?
I'll grab him by the ankles and tug.
Colt's gonna try to wiggle away.
Okay. Strength check Viria. Dexterity Cult. Oh, it could be athletics if you want, Viria.
Yeah, I used acrobatics.
I'm proficient in that, so yes.
So is Cult. Yep.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yep. Cult, you take advantage of the slipperiness of the water, and you also kick up a little bit of the dirt between your toes. So Viri goes to lunge for you, but oh, she just grabs sand and salt water.
Yeah. Rose, there's something grabbing at me in the water, and he starts to back away up towards the shore a little.
I hold your hand and I go, it's okay, I'll protect you. Very dramatically.
As both of them back away, I'll just slowly emerge from the water, but like with all of my hair in front of my face, like.
Okay.
And just keep my head out.
Yeah.
That's appropriate because we're doing a little J-horror right now.
Yeah, Viria, make an intimidation check. Cult and Rose, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh my god! Oh no! Rose, despite knowing it's Viria,
Yeah. Yeah. So here's
I got
how it plays
14.
out. Rose is all like, oh, come here, you silly little half-orc boy. It's nothing. Okay, and then you see the fucking ring girl breathe like just out of the water. And then all of a sudden 2 eyes just ping through the like threads of hair, and you both go, ah! And you see dingleberries and bobbies like every which way as you just beeline it for the shore. And then as soon as you get on dry land, you just look back to Viria.
Cult's now standing on shore, and then he Donald Ducks. Because he's Donald Ducking. He's like, okay, well, let's just cover this up. He's trying to like turn, and he's like, where's Viria? There's something glowing in the water.
It's her.
I got her.
Viria! Oh, jeez, that's very naked right now.
Your clothes are
Okay.
dry.
Oh, thank you. And he just sort of covers himself up, puts on his shorts, wet, which is awful. There's
Ugh.
sand. Oh, putting on clothes. It's bad. He goes,
Well, no,
"Oh,
because, they would stick to your body for sure, but Nagheim was kind enough to presto clean all your clothes so they were dry once you got on land.
So there's not.
Yeah.
Sand isn't sticking to your clothes.
But your
sand's
legs and
everywhere.
everything. Yeah.
Sand always gets in the weirdest places at the
It
beach.
does. It really does.
3 days later, you're like, what? Why?
Why in my
Oh,
teeth?
ow! It's always in your teeth.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I think we needed that.
Yeah, very still
Rose
out there
just
just coasting around.
runs back into the water and just goes like, whee! And kind of like, you know, like when you jump and you do like a bomb into the water next
Yeah.
to Viri.
Nice.
Want a race?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You still have a bit of haste left.
Oh, I forgot.
I don't know that.
No, you
I'm
don't.
here for
All
it.
right. Athletics check in 3, 2,
I'm gonna lose.
1.
I mean,
Go.
would Viri get?
Wait.
Because she has
what are
double
haste-
speed.
Yes. True.
Well,
So
you
she
tell
gets
me. You
extra
look it up.
actions.
Yeah.
So if it's let me see. Has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action each of its turn.
Well, regardless,
So-
she does power through this first phase, and she gets about what 60 feet ahead, as opposed to Rose's 45.
Yeah, 45.
Nice. So you're in the lead for where are we going?
There's just
We're just running.
racing. Well, swimming.
Swimming.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Round 2 in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Viria, you are way in the lead at this point.
I am on fire tonight.
We'll give it one more shot in 3, 2,
Let's-
1.
Never mind.
Catch up.
Couldn't last forever.
Well, technically, no, you're still in the lead because. Oh no, she would just at the very last end. Rose would overtake you, I think. No,
60,
3 times 60. No, you're you win.
Like,
I would have had a 30 feet lead, and then.
Oh, trust me, you were
another-
180 feet ahead. Yeah, it's all good.
I don't don't care. I'm just having fun with my friends.
Exactly.
Cold's still watching the girls swim and splash about, and just sitting in his jockeys, just watching. Looks over at Nagheim and is like, "Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean to you, but I felt that's something everyone should experience if they're by the ocean."
I think we should be heading to bed soon. We have a busy day ahead of us.
Yep.
Fine, Mom. I love you's accent. And yeah, you just see like two butts. Across the water.
And then when you
Yeah.
go back and you see boobies.
Yeah, there it is.
Not being weird. I'm not being weird.
You and the internet cult.
Yeah. Cold's gonna grab his things and he goes, "I'll meet you back inside."
Sad wank. Anyway.
I was wondering who was gonna pick that one up.
And me of all people.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody eventually makes their way back onto the boat and into the bubble for an evening's rest. You all wake up the next morning. Yeah. Oh, just thumbs up. Okay. Same kind of night where the dreams are just a little too real. Some good, some bad. Nothing memorable. Just, yeah. Smells seem a bit more familiar. Sights are a bit more defined. Sensations are just a little bit heightened within this dream. But you all wake up the next morning. What are we doing?
I think Nagheim would have already tried to acquire a rowboat for us and already have that set up.
Okay.
By the time, like,
Wasn't it
everyone would have
already
woken
purchased?
up.
I'm sorry. Not to interrupt. I think it was purchased the day before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
So you're getting
like,
it set
everyone
up.
would
you mean.
wake up to no bubble around them,
Mhm.
and Nagheim would be setting up the boat. Or already have it setting up and just having the...
Colt will walk up all geared up and he goes, "Ugh, I am finding sand in the most unusual places. I think I got water in my ear. Can you do it? Can you do the thing? Just in my ear?" Oh. That was
that-
shocking. I was at
meant or
no,
Oh.
but you. I was asking Nagheim to presto my ear, but that worked, I think. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Rose
And
is
just
gonna get
vision of nude Viria just flashes in his head for a second. He has to shake it off and do a lap.
Rose will have gotten up after the thing and see Remy, chat with him, be like, yo, my homie. And
What up, G?
Yeah, and then arrange for kind of like little go bags of food, breakfast, lunch, and maybe like a little dinner. Made that with him and leave the kitchen with that.
Okay, you guys kind of parcel together things that aren't necessarily like entire meals or anything like that, but things that can be travel meals, so to speak. Things that are, yeah, things that are densely, yeah, densely packed little kind of things. Well, not so much coleslaw, no.
Oh, it's
But-
gonna go off in minutes out here.
yeah.
you know, like,
I'm
those kind of protein balls that just kind of like fill you up. It's little things like that, but one for breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of thing. So they're just compact little things that'll have like all the grains and all the calories that you would probably need on your travels. So those are easily made.
Dried bacon.
Absolutely. Always.
And I'll put an extra one for in Cult's bag.
Oh.
For your pocket bacon.
Oh, puts it in his wrist. He'd also like to put how many do I have here? 1, 2, he's gonna take the deodorant out of his wrist pocket. That doesn't need to be in there.
But you're sweating like balls.
I know, but it's,
He's
he's
got a
got
wizard.
He's got a wizard best friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, 6. He's gonna put 1 healing potion in his wrist pocket, and he's gonna put the protein ball in his wrist pocket.
Okay.
And that's 7. He's all full up.
The rest are daggers?
Doesn't, no. Why do I say lock? What's lock? Okay. Diamond 300 gold pieces, shattered teeth map, featherfall gum, feather token, lock. I don't know what that means. Protein ball and healing potion. So I'm going to take off lock and put a dagger in.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember what lock is either.
Me neither.
Oh man, does this mean I have to watch the entire show again? Oh no, what am I gonna do?
We do watch our own show.
Oh my god, I
It's
watch the shit out of our show.
We really
I
do.
love
We really do.
When I
It's
can't
so
be
fun.
with these folks, I want to be with these folks. So I watch our show constantly. Anyway. So, the day is yours. The boat is set. You know fairly certainly which way to go, thanks to your human compass. And away we go. You guys tell me.
So
Yeah.
we're going to go along northeast coast.
You guys are
Excuse
pretty
me.
much going the same way you started walking, but at least this way you're getting about 4 times the speed.
Making more distance. And
Yeah.
Albert is going to be scouting
Right
out
here.
ahead.
Albert
Okay.
is actually right there, and Nagheim has a cloak on and up and over them, and just keeping themselves cooled down under the cloak, which is keeping the water and such off. Just kind of huddled in the back of the boat.
Yeah, Cult's taking the hat, putting that on.
Okay. So
Maybe going shirtless and just suspenders. That's for Carly.
who's Carly?
I don't know. Nobody knows who Carly is.
I do.
It's a deity.
She's one of the best people I've ever met. All right. So where is it here? There it is. Okay.
Carly is a patron of the arts.
That's I'm going to make that canon. You just watch.
18th level artist.
You're super. 16 miles an hour. Yeah, shit. Okay. So I would say, hold on. I don't want to tell you guys lies and then have to backtrack here.
Yeah, don't tell us lies.
Jesus, I feel so threatened.
You didn't
like
see
a
her
Care
hit her
Bear is
wrist.
fighting us. It's like an angry Care Bear.
I just heard the voice and I was like a little shook. So, all right. So I will say that about 5 hours into your journey into the northeast, you get to the northernmost point of the island. There we go. You haven't, well, yeah, I'll say this. You haven't seen anything that resembles a lighthouse. There's been no sign of any kind of man-made structure in the whole journey across here. Not even, for lack of a better comparison, primitive kind of life forms like what you saw. The most you would see occasionally are rustling throughout the trees in the jungle. But even then, you don't see any creatures pop out, you don't see any kind of signs of life. Whoever would like to can make a perception check.
I will.
Okay.
I think we got Rose on that. I would like to give Rose advantage by watching with her.
Okay, roll one more time, Rose.
I would most likely anything with Nagheim at this point would be their passive, like not looking at anything specifically, just trying to.
Yeah. To be fair, what I would say for Nagheim, even though you have a high like passive perception, you are still kind of obsessed with the idea that you are floating on water right now, and you're trying to come to grips with that. What is the 7?
I tried to do it as well, but I guess I'm more focused on keeping an eye on Nagham.
I guess you'd also be rowing the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Exactly. Yeah.
go. Multitasking.
So I will say that while you guys don't see any kind of lighthouse or anything. Hello, Mark.
The internet says hi.
Hi.
He says hi.
Excellent. You're getting close to the top part of this island fairly quickly. And in the distance, you see that there is a bit of an outcropping from that point that, even though it's not as high as the mountains, it doesn't look like it would give you as much trouble to scale that if you guys wanted to get there and get some sort of lay of the land on either side of the island. Because once you're up there, you would have a good look back the way you came and a good look down the other side heading southeast. So if you want, you could get some elevation.
Very. Point.
You're heading in the right direction. And I believe that our lovable rogue just got a butt shown to her. Or a front bit. Anybody want to take a bet? Wow, she
She's
turns
very
beet red.
flustered, so I feel like it's a front bit, but you know.
Front bit? Twig and berries?
They're taking bets on whether you showed me a butt or your front.
Was it a helicopter?
You just showed me the cat.
We are
It was
dirty
a butt. Originally, it was a butt.
Awesome. That's what we hope for.
I'm a professional.
Hey, Chuck. Tell Mark he's got a point of inspiration.
Mark, you have a point of inspiration.
He has no idea what the fuck that is.
He would never touch a dice.
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies.
No, that's something you never have to apologize for. All
Someone
right.
clip that.
Wait till you see the playback. You just died. So, you see this outcropping at the top part of this island. Is everybody going to get a better purchase on top of there, or you keep on keeping on?
So can we tie up the boat? Does there look like anything?
You can bring it
where we
ashore,
can
that's
land,
easy enough.
We can land the boat.
Yeah, this is all along the shoreline still.
Crew?
All right, we can take a break and see if we see anything.
Maybe send someone to scramble up and see what their elven eyes can see. And he looks directly at Rose.
Do you want me to go climb?
Yeah, I would love that. I think you'd be fantastic at that.
I think I'd be really good at that.
I think you'd be very good.
Do it.
Right woman for the job.
So as you guys bring the boat ashore, the one thing you do notice about this is that the outcropping kind of goes to a point. And as you see the waves kind of crashing into the shore, it does hit this outcropping a little bit so that the climb... What? You okay?
Nothing. Cats.
Hey, cats. The outcropping could be a little bit treacherous because it is slick and it is sharp, jagged rocks. So I don't know if you want to just send someone out solo because there might be challenges, we'll say.
Perhaps I should go too.
Fine, you can come with me.
Okay.
He's gonna take out his rope and sort of just have it at the ready.
Sure.
Because like if one of them goes down, should we tie you off, Rose? Should we tie ourselves together, or do you just want to hold on to it? Maybe we can just both hold on to it.
What's the rope for?
To help not fall into the drink.
Okay, I mean, I've never used rope before, but okay, whatever you think is best.
Okay, well, you take it. How about, you said it's wet and slippery?
Yeah, so I'll say, like, I like this idea. Just hanging onto it might not be the best idea, so tying it off would be better. So you have your hand grips free of a rope, and you can have
Right,
one
yeah.
tied off
Fair
between each
enough.
other. That's
Fair
totally
enough.
cool. Yep.
Colt's gonna say, let me try first. I'm pretty good on my feet, so he's going to try to traverse, and then Rose can follow, and then at least if she falls, he can attempt to.
Sure.
He's not super weak. He's got a plus
Yeah.
1 to his strength.
So I'll say this won't be acrobatics, unfortunately. This will be,
Arr.
yeah, I know. This will be athletics for both of you.
Okay, I didn't talk to a ghost today. That means I still have survival.
We can do that afterwards.
I mean, I would have taken it. Well,
We
probably
can
still would've
say
taken
that you did
survival.
it this morning. I would assume that you would. That's fine. I won't fault you for that.
Okay, well then I'll take athletics because
Sure.
that'll help. So that's that plus
Nice.
an extra 4 on top. Ooh!
All right. You guys are
That's a
solid.
23.
Even though the rocks are slippery and you find like some parts that maybe don't touch because you could probably slice your hand open, little by little you get to away from the shore towards where the peak of this outcropping is. Both of you make an investigation check, please.
Investigations.
Investigation.
I forgot I got pretty good investigation. It's 21.
Okay. So as you climb the razor-sharp rocks that have been eroded over time by the crashing waves of the ocean, searching for any indication or sign that might lead you towards the vision that Viria saw. Occasionally slipping, cracking knees upon solid rock, cutting hands on jagged shrapnel, and making your efforts seem more and more futile. You see something just out of place. A single small outcropping from the rock. Smooth. Almost at a right angle. Were it not for the sunburst lichen taking over most of the surface area, you might not have ever noticed that there, just beneath it, that has to be a stairway. Looking up at this spire of saltwater drenched stone and growth, it no longer resembles any sort of man-made structure. How many hundreds, if not thousands, of years have passed for it to be reduced or removed from the eyes of the world? But this has to be it. And hopefully, at the very top, you will see whatever it is you were all meant to see.
Rose will say, "Colt, is that a lighthouse?"
I think it's stairs. But stairs lead places. And I think we gotta take these stairs.
Let's go.
And I'll go, I think we're all going. We're all going. And he'll go to his earring. He's like, I think you want to see this. If you guys want to shore the boat and come on up, we can come back and help you if you like.
What'd you find?
We found stairs.
Like
Downstairs.
oh,
Colt says that stairs lead places.
well they
He nods, but no one can see it. It's like when you nod on your phone.
that's usually what stairs do, Rose. Okay, well, are you? We're going off water, Nagheim.
Okay.
be, yeah. Okay. And I'll maneuver the ship, the boat, so that we can kind of like beach it and hide it a little bit so that.
I'll say you can drag it away from the shoreline so that even if the tide comes in a little deeper, it's not going to pick it up and go away. So it's over by the tree line at this point where you've tied it up.
Yeah, and I'll also just kind of like cover it with shrubbery.
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 We were all thinking it.
A twang.
Zumba.
All right, we're nerds. All right, we get it. The internet knows. All right, the internet knows.
I'm trying to say words.
Yeah. God, now I want to watch that. Oh, we should have a watch
the
party.
knights. We are the knights who say.
All right. So, before we get into the next leg of this, I just want to point out something that I spoke to Xander about before, is that we have been going for 2.5 hours and we have just now gotten to the shit I have written. This is why I love this group.
We will everything.
No, you make things better. Like I didn't have to do shit and it was so much fun. Anyway, you all meet at the base of this outcropping. Cult and Rose pointing out the very few steps that you have found along the way. So
Guidance.
good, yes. So, Viri and Nagheim, you'll follow behind them as you go along. Everybody make athletic checks, please.
Man, that was a good retcon I did. Because that's 9 plus 4 is 13.
Don't forget your guidance.
I got
10.
guidance.
I have
No,
guidance.
no. Nagheim
Oh,
did.
yeah.
10.
10.
I'm gonna climb behind Nagheim.
Sure. I will say,
More like this.
Yeah.
Rose, make a strength saving throw, please.
I got you, baby. I got you.
Sorry. No, I'm not. I'm me. Cool.
Yeah, girl.
Cult,
Gonna get
you
it.
slip on the rocks, and thankfully you are tethered to Rose. So she holds the rope taut, and you kind of steady yourself as you go. Viria, I will get you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Wait, I have inspiration.
Go for it.
Belchspiration.
Belch. That's better. It's 12.
Is it? Is it? Yeah, it is.
A little bit. Come on.
No, it is. That's fine. So you hear Nagheim kind of like, oh, well,
How do I sound?
I said it before I thought about it, and I was just like, no.
Do
No.
go on.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I picked the wrong
Wait.
damn voice. That's not Trixie.
Wait, I got it.
And
More
the Oscar
bird than
goes
person,
to
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So both of you catch your companions as they slip a little bit off the beaten track, but you guide them back. And after about, I'd say 30 minutes of climbing, you do reach the top of this spire. Everybody make an investigation check, please.
I'm way better at
You know what? Hold it.
investigation than
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
once
wait, wait,
thought.
wait, 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 wait. Who
Never
is
mind.
proficient in investigation? Just you? Okay.
Well, now I don't want to tell you.
You are or you aren't. It's all good.
I'm not.
Okay. Cult, please make an investigation check, please.
Okie dokie. That's 17.
That's good. You look around at the top, trying to find any sort of remnants of what could have been a lighthouse. Now you keep thinking like, okay, so this possibly is it. But if there's this much erosion and this much growth around it, how long has it been here? What would a lighthouse even look like that long ago, like compared to today? And then you see a crack within the stone. And it's a little too perfect of a line.
I see a crack in the stone, but it's too perfect. It's like a straight line. I would like.
I so want to hate you, but I love you to death.
You love me so much because
do.
I'm so cute and charming and fun.
Mostly because you commented my forearms, but you know.
They're very strong.
We should have brought
Stop.
a geologist.
Anyway. What's that, Rose? I'm sorry. Yeah, what?
And maybe we should have brought a geologist with us.
Well, I did study a little bit of geology in school, which is why I can sort of discern that this looks a little different.
Cultist
I did
proficient in
really-
cracks.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm so sorry.
Um,
We are giddy geese tonight.
I'm sorry. This is a professional show. Jesus, what am I doing?
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
Thank
Never
you.
been a professional show.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
okay.
Original?
Here we go. Here we go. There's a crack in the stone. What are we doing about it?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Do you know where else there was crack?
Jesus, fuck.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
Nagheim wanted to say something.
Yes.
can we see anything inside of it?
Make a perception check.
Only a 9. I rolled a
Oh,
3.
crumbs. Can I help since I was the one investigating initially?
Well, I will say, first of all, Nagheim, it may be because your eyes are more accustomed to having vision in the dark, that being in this broad daylight, trying to peer into the dark, it's just not working in your favor. But Cult, you can make a perception check.
Ah. Worse. It's a natural 2, 3 total.
So both of you are having difficulty looking inside of the crack.
Well, we have to
I'm
peer
just gonna see if I
I
can
got-
send dancing lights in.
Sure. So as soon as the lights inside, you can make out shadows and structures. Some coming down from an interior, some coming up from an interior. And it looks like there is some sort of space beyond. But that's about it.
How big is this crack?
Well, a little taller than all of you.
In wide width?
It's about, what is that? 2 inches? 1 inch?
Jesus.
Well, how much space is there around the crack, like, for us to back away from it, per se?
It's a little precarious right now. Like, there's not really a ledge. You guys are just kind of balancing yourselves on, like, whatever kind of outcroppings have grown out over the years. There would be enough space for someone to possibly take hold or, you know, whatever you want to do, manage around it, depending on what you guys want to do here.
Not enough space for what I was thinking.
Oh, we
Uh,
could just
one sec.
maybe blow it up.
Well, I
Oh,
was,
she gonna go touch a butt?
A crack.
I was thinking of potentially using magic to try to clear the way, but I don't want to risk anybody, so...
Well, we could try to find another way in. Are we trying to get in? Does it look like we're going in somewhere?
Oh, but so well, the stairs are leading to here, so right.
Why don't we go in the crack?
It's only 2 inches.
Rose will put her arm in it and be like this. Do I feel anything?
You feel air.
I feel air.
Not circulating air, but I mean open air. There's space within there.
Oh, I can try blasting it.
I don't know that you could get your arm in. How skinny is your arm?
Probably,
you have-
but to
2
here.
inches isn't a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I was assuming you were like, shoulder deep. Okay, so yeah, you could do that. Yeah. So you can go in there and feeling around, you do feel like a smooth surface on the interior.
Oh, so it's like a door.
Wait,
Hey!
wait,
I'm
wait.
Pretty
Wait,
smooth.
let me try
Well-educated.
something.
What are you gonna
This
try?
doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like a crack. It feels like, touch it.
I think I have something
the
that can
crack.
help us. And from my pack, I'll take out the Rod of Secrets I have.
Okay.
Yay! Oh my gosh, magical stuff.
Which I haven't used so far. But
I
it's
know.
like one of yeah, I know. So where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Wand of Seer. It's not Rod. That's why I wasn't finding it.
No worries.
Rods, cracks.
Wands.
Be like that. So I can use one of its charges, and if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of me, the wand will pulse and point at the one nearest to me.
Well, you Alakazam, Avada Kedavra, and no traps.
Or, well, secret doors, like, is there maybe like something that activates this door in front of this crack?
Well, I will say that, it's not necessarily a secret door, but it is a door.
I'm gonna cast Locate Object
Okay.
for a lever.
For a lever?
Ooh. That's neat.
Okay, I'll allow that. Or wait, no. Here's where I'm going to get technical. A lever that does what?
Open the door? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know levers.
Exactly. So you send it out, trying to detect it. You don't find any levers that open a door.
I take my crowbar out and I hand it to Rose. 'Cause
Hey.
I have a crowbar. Do you know what this is for?
Well, I mean, my spell also locates the nearest object that is similar to what I sent out as well. So if there is a lever out around us, it would be like, oh, hey, you asked for this, but I got this.
Yeah,
So,
still no.
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Crowbar it
open
up?
it.
Yeah.
Do you know how fulcrum works?
You want?
Pry it open with
Okay.
with your strength, with your strongness.
I
Please.
proceed to do so.
Okay.
Let's see it. Strength check.
I don't know it's rolling with disadvantage, but here we go.
Well, I would say, oh, you're rolling with disadvantage. I would say that with the crowbar, give Rose advantage.
No. But I
I mean, it's
do you have any inspiration?
a tool.
I do actually. Thank you for reminding me.
It's what I do. Who loves you, baby? Awesome.
Hey.
Well, a lot of people love me. Do you want a list? Because I could go and list.
You know, why you gotta make me jealous? All right.
We love you too.
All right. So you get it in there.
Show him love.
You shove the bar in the crack. You just
Shove that bar
yeah,
right in that crack.
You crack it wide open. You crack that nut open. And inside you see a cylindrical space. Immediately You can tell this has not been disturbed for quite some time. Stalactites and stalagmites rim most of the area, where overhead, this room has given way to time. Now, as you step inside, Cult, make an investigation check, please.
22.
I guess that'll do it. Yeah, sure. As you step closer to the center of the room to get your bearings of exactly what this may have been in years past, you can make out small lines engraved on the floor you stand upon. One of which points directly to a lone stalagmite that does not share the same shape or size as most of the others around the room. What would you all like to do?
I would probably delicately walk over to this unusual stalagmite, inform everybody, and like, this one looks a little different. There's some markings on the floor. Negheim, can you take a look at those?
What language are they in?
Do I understand them?
Make an investigation check.
Would any of us understand them?
19.
It doesn't seem to be any sort of language. It's more of just patterns.
Pattern of sort, really. I don't know what it says. Or is supposed to.
I'll look to my hand and go, well, we're at your place now, what?
No response.
What does the unusual stalagmite have to offer me?
Well, as you look
and
at it,
whoever wants to come look at it with me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
with all the moisture and all the water that has seeped into this place, it's got a bit of sludge over top of it, but as you start peeling away the thin layers of scum and dust, you see beneath it a glass sphere resting within a metal contraption that is adhered to the floor you stand upon.
Is this what you were dreaming of, Viria? It kind of resembles a lighthouse.
It's a much smaller one, but yeah, it does.
I mean, this is probably what produced the light. This is the lighthouse would be the building we are in.
By shining something through the sphere, is that it?
Viria?
Most likely.
It does look like a shard of some sort. What would you like to do? Everyone.
Is it giving off any cold, like, air around it?
It's kind of hard to tell with the heat from outside coming into the room. The room was a little bit colder just because not a lot was seeping into the room. But nothing noticeable.
And what if I reach towards it?
Do you reach towards it or touch it?
Reach towards it for now.
Nothing so far. Are you trying to egg on a inanimate object? What's going on here?
Come at me,
Just
bro.
going like,
Come on, bro. Yeah.
Nagheim, can you do your magic thing and see if there's anything up with this, or?
It'll take time.
Well, we're not in a
But
hurry, are we?
Yeah, we could have a
Also,
sit and eat.
last time I tried to identify a crystal of some sort, I got nothing. So if it has something to do with it, I feel my skill sets are not gonna do much here.
No, you've done a lot already. I'm just trying to think of anything before I go around and touch mysterious crystal spheres in caves
I mean-
in yeah.
It's either you touch it or I touch it for 10 minutes.
Right.
Before we do that, point of inspiration to bits of berries. That's you. All right.
Oh, from chat?
No, because
Oh, yeah.
she is
That's
kicking
me.
ass on the moderator side of things here.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I never noticed.
It's all good. It's all good. So,
That's
what are we
'cause
doing?
She's so good.
Yeah. She's a ninja.
Okay, well, did we want to eat before we do anything else? Or because I don't know, would removing this trigger like? Oh, there weren't any traps detected by my wand.
I mean, I could take a quick scout around, see if there's anything nefarious. I'll take a quick walk around, sort of explore the area a little bit more.
There isn't much else around here that would even indicate that this is the structure you were looking for. Again, there's so much like sea vegetation and just overall corrosion to the thing. Like, you're surprised you even found what you did.
Yeah, this place is old as balls.
Like old man balls too, like the ones that like dangle to your knees, like just.
Oh, like at
Jesus.
the gym?
Yeah,
Oof.
they've got
And you're
spots.
like, wow, I'm paying to be here, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's what I get to see?
Yeah. Jesus, is that a sweater knitted on it? Anyway, let's just.
And does the pattern on the floor reveal anything, or is it like
If it did, I mean, it's mostly hidden by the stalagmites that are kind of lining this whole room.
okay?
The most you guys can kind of perceive from it is that it's got this whole space has a kind of circular radius to it with a dome kind of structure. Even though the stalactites are coming down, they do still crest to like a dome kind of shape.
And do the symbols look like any arcane runes sort?
The only thing that you can make out from them is that they have geometric shape. But as to their significance, or if they are something else, it's hidden by layers upon layers of like sedimentation? Is that the word?
Sediment or
Thank you.
vegetation?
Both, because I've just made a new word. You're welcome.
So while everyone is like looking at the sphere, Rose is like crouching down and like trying to look at the pattern and like pushing sediment and vegetation to see like the
Sedimentation.
patterns.
Yep.
Sedimentation and vegetation.
Copyright.
Auditations. To see, just look at the pattern, see if she recognizes shapes. So I don't know, maybe she's seen patterns before.
Ooh. You yourself are not too accustomed to any kind of shapes or languages beyond the ones that you know. And especially when it comes to reading in general, that's not your strong suit. You're just kind of looking at everything, trying to see if like some sort of Tetris puzzle piece will just pop into your brain for some reason because you want to help, but nothing is coming about.
Is it a spiral?
No.
Okay. Would it, racking my brain for any sort of historical significance to this help? Or have
Honestly,
have I
everybody is kind of racking their brains, coming to the same conclusion. It's like
Tapped.
you don't have all the puzzle pieces to understand what this is, if it is anything.
Okay.
It's just that these are shapes in something that looks to be glossed over by time.
Cult's gonna go touch the orb.
Okay. Quick question: is everybody in the room?
Oh no. Yes, we are.
And what is everybody's AC? Just off the top of your head?
16, I believe. Yeah.
16?
16, I think.
11?
11?
And this
Oh,
is
no.
where I die.
Yeah. Sorry, before I get to this next point, I really gotta. Jesus, I gotta touch this shit up.
Wait. Me too.
There's only so
If
much
I'm gonna
sexiness.
Die, I'm gonna look good.
I just need to hide it on your 2 dice, okay?
Me too.
Oh.
Thank you.
Don't forget to blot.
I don't blot. I just eat it off.
Oh, I used to have strawberry lip gloss from the Body Shop. I love this shit. I never wore it for more than an hour because I would eat it. Is it? That shit is like crack cocaine. Oh, so tasty. Anyway, so you said 16, 16, 11, and what? Rose? What's your AC? 16. 3 16s?
16 almost. Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Sorry, guys. It's happening.
As soon
I was going to grab it,
it's okay.
and then you said it, so
It's
there
okay.
you go.
Oh no! Oh no! Did I steal your thunder again?
We don't know
Okay.
until now. As soon as you touch the sphere, a warmth comes over your hand, and an aquamarine glow quickly begins to emanate from it. Lights of the same color begin to travel in a wide circle around the floor, encompassing all of you. Some of the lights trying to shine through whatever gaps in the stalagmites have not consumed. And just as the faint lights begin to peek through the floor... Hang on. I gotta remember where my place is. I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm so sorry. And just as the faint lights begin to peek through the floor, it shifts and wrenches itself apart, and the entire room begins to lower itself. 10, 30, 60 feet. The rapid pace at which you accelerate leaves you dizzy and nauseous. The edges of the platform you were standing on collide with stone walls that are flying upwards all around you, sending sparks into the air as you keep traveling lower and lower. And with an ear-popping, your journey reaches the end. At least one end. You're no longer within a cylindrical rock formation. You watch as all around you, water consumes the translucent sphere that you are all within. Still moving at an incredible pace, but with the pressure of the waters around you, the nausea has slightly subsided. Schools of multicolored fish pass by you. Larger predators of the ocean's waters slowly travel past, keeping darkened eyes upon you as you pass. Lower and lower, you travel to your next unknown destination. Are you guys legitimately trying to say something, or are you just doing your thing?
We're pointing at fish.
Okay. I just want to be sure that I'm not cutting you off or anything.
No,
we're-
fair enough.
Okay.
I'm keeping a hand on Nagheim's back as
Okay.
we're going down through the water.
Everyone who would like to, which I imagine at this point would be all of you, everybody make a perception check.
Oh my god, you guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't know this was gonna happen, but look how beautiful everything is. Oh my god, is this real? And he tries to tap the thing. But yeah.
I think this is what we're supposed to do. Go.
Add
I am a
19.
week, right?
How is this possible? What the hell?
you
Got it.
you lost your luck.
Okay.
Oh, Nagheim, finally.
I
Sweet justice.
I only failed one perception check this whole game, or this whole session.
This session, yeah.
It's justice.
Virya, you are breathing a little quicker and a little heavier right now because this is becoming very, very real for you. So you're not really concerned about everything that is going on around you. You're just concerned about what is at the end of this journey. Now, everyone else, far off in the distance, you see a broken line of light. Erupting from this rift of light are god rays that instantly heat the water surrounding it, causing blasts of boiling water to erupt towards the surface. The light can be seen heading out and around for miles. Now, everyone who got above an 18, which are the other three of you, you can see the rift is not along any surface or structure. The rift floats in the water far above the ocean's floor, never moving with the current, but constant in its space.
So would you say that the light is like a lighthouse light? Is that what we're getting at? Or
I would say that the light goes from as far as you can see to the left out to what is the underwater horizon. Essentially, this is what is causing the Fool's Curtain.
snap.
It's a rift in the middle of the ocean.
Are we underwater?
You are under the ocean.
I don't have water breathing. I don't know about you guys.
No, we're in a bubble.
Oh, we are in the bubble still?
You
Yeah,
also have
we're-
the potions.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Still keeping in a hand Nagheim.
I'm gonna go up to the edge of the bubble
Mhm.
and just because touching things has never gone wrong for me
No,
ever.
it's what got you
So-
here in the first place.
I'm gonna touch it and see what the texture is like. Is it hard?
With
it
each
gelatinous?
fingertip that touches it, you see translucent aquamarine rings just boom, 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 like little sonars around you. But you can't
That's pretty.
penetrate through it.
Rose is gonna do exactly the same thing next to Cult.
Cult, you see Rose touch it and she, one after another, and then she gets a rhythm, and before you know it, boom, 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 boom.
She's dropping sick beats.
Oh yeah. Boom, dun, 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 boom. Boom, dun, 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 dun.
Well, here we are. Uh,
Question for the group: Or did we all collectively do Dream Flake or something, and now we're all on some sort of trip, or is this really happening?
I'll pinch her.
Dream Flake?
Yeah.
Hallucinogenic drug.
Oh, no. As far as I know, I am not under any influence currently. But touching that thing, points at the orb, got us down here. So,
Well, I was
Eh.
pointing down a while back, remember?
how point? What do you feel now? Point north.
I guess I'll point down.
Going down.
Does she naturally want to point in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so
Well-
we need to go more down?
I look down.
Okay.
Are we still going down, or are we just
Oh yeah,
Like,
you've been going down this whole
suspended?
time.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, we're still moving. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I thought we had
Quickly.
stopped,
Oh
sorry.
shit.
Yeah.
Get your potion of water breathing ready, everyone, just in case. Don't drink them yet. We want as much time as possible, but to have them at the ready.
All right.
There's a city under the
Nagheim,
water.
do you have any idea what kind of magic this is?
No.
Sorry, I'm just. Look at the fish again.
Okay. Well, as you're peering out over the edge of the disc, all of you, curious as to what lies below, what your surroundings can show you, you see a light starting to form beneath you, becoming more luminous and larger the closer you get. Shapes start to take form. Bubbles. Possibly other spheres like yours. But illuminated. Wait, no, not like yours. Larger. Much larger. with tube-like structures connecting many of them. And within them, buildings, lights, spires, an entire city along the ocean floor.
Oh, Rose, you were white. Right. Blah, blah, blah.
Someone's shitting their pants.
There is a city under the water. How did they Nagheim? Do you know how they build cities underwater?
With tools, I assume.
Poor Nick. I was like, I don't know everything.
I have already said multiple times my skills have I have no skills here.
Listen,
is
in
so
Rose's
far away.
heart and mind, Nagaheim is the most brilliant individual she knows. She will always turn to Nagaheim when she doesn't know something.
I don't know. I've only ever heard stories, but they're stories.
This
Think
shouldn't be
actual
here.
cities. No.
Well, I mean, there are such things as sea elves, water genasi, such like that. There are people who, and there are either more races that do live under the water, and they have to live somewhere.
What?
Oh,
What?
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
That is out of my realm. Sea elves? How do I not know this? This feels like an immense blind spot. Meaning
Are we
Chuck
gonna meet
totally
sea
forgot.
elves?
Yeah,
What?
there's
Oh my god.
all kinds of races. Ocean's huge. A lot of people, a lot of things live here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Ah,
It's-
shit. This complicates things. I wasn't expecting people.
I mean, your crystal came from your people, so whatever is needed most likely comes from others.
But I mean, we just found ours. You didn't put it there or anything. What
Everything
if
happens for a reason.
And
Are
it's
your
with
people
that
drawn to it?
insightful thought, you all gather and squint your eyes to try to make out more details. But your vision is cut short as you enter a cylindrical tube. Darkness consumes all around you with only the glow of the glyphs at your feet to illuminate the space. The sphere slowly recedes its speed before coming to a full stop. The aquamarine glow dissipates and leaves you all in pitch black. A rusted, grinding noise fills the air as a sliver of light along the walls begins to part the darkness, and the sphere opens, revealing something you were not prepared for. A red velvet carpet lines the floor that leads to a set of stairs at the far end of this cylindrical chamber you find yourselves in. At the top of the stairs are two large gold-set doors. What would you like to do?
Oh, 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 okay. I have a feeling we're about to meet people who may have not met people who breathe
Yeah.
upstairs. So we're going diplomatic. Keep your weapons ready, but don't touch them. And he's just trying to remember all the stuff that he ignored in diplomatic class that Tens paid attention to, and he didn't.
Of all the things I was expecting to find down here, I wasn't expecting this.
I expected ruins, maybe a monster or two.
I think I
So
would have taken a monster or two over this.
sh- uh, should you do the whole "I am the leader, Captain, hi I" thing again, cult like you did last time? If we're doing
Uh,
diplomacy, how do you call it again?
diplomacy.
Oh yeah, that.
Diplomatic immunity.
Wanted to save that. um, Yes, but we don't have to lie or anything. We'll just be very polite and say we are here on behalf of the House Cultivarius, and if they like that kind of thing, we can play up that angle. If not, we can just say we're adventurers out for an exploration. I don't know if we should immediately reveal the crystal in Viria's hand,
No, not for now. And
just in case they want to
I'm
keep it.
it's not it's you don't have a bad idea, but if we end up sliding these people, maybe bringing your family name into this isn't a good idea.
Oh, yeah, that's actually very true. Okay, well, just keep our names short. We don't have to lie, but we don't have to tell them the whole truth.
That works for me.
Okay. All
You
right.
know, yeah.
You okay,
Explorers.
Nagaim?
I'm just wondering, could I dispel
Could you dispel what? I didn't catch that.
that rift? That's where Nagheim's mind is right now.
Big picture. All right. Well, here we go. And Colt's going to move ahead towards the door, being very quiet and very careful,
Okay.
high alert, and reach out for the door and see if it opens.
It is sealed with a lock.
He's gonna knock.
Nothing.
Is there like an intercom system?
No, unfortunately.
What's the code to their building again?
Hey, we're laughing, but that's not a bad idea because looking how you guys got down here with that kind of tech and that kind of magic, it's not the worst idea, but unfortunately, no.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rose is gonna shout through the door, be like, "Excuse me, it's locked. Hello."
You just see your
Cool.
breath kind of frost up the gold on the door a little bit.
Do you mind? It won't open.
I don't feel right about picking the lock yet. It
Hang
is
on. I'll take my wand back out
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, try it again. See
You
if
see a
there's
door.
any
It's
trap
definitely
or-
not secret, and there are no traps.
okay. It's like
Glitching.
coming to
Okay.
someone's
No,
house.
I'm just telling you the facts.
It's like going to someone's house and they're not home, but you just let yourself in anyway. Well, uh, I don't know what our options are, so I'm just gonna
Is there
pick the lock.
anything other than these doors here?
No, it's a tube and it leads directly to this door. There's also the way back you came from.
Yeah, we'll have to go forward.
All right. And he takes out his these tools, cracks his knuckles.
Okay.
Let's go.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Uh,
That was the worst burp you've ever done. That was just you trying to
Worst-
fake a
was
burp.
Awesome.
Just like,
I think you find it was the best burp I've ever done.
that was a goat burp, if anything.
Go burp. Oh no, 11. Okay, I'm gonna use luck.
Yeah.
Because that's not getting me anywhere. Let's little hand.
I don't know, always blast the doors open.
Hey, worth it. Worth
Okay.
that luck.
It's a 22. It takes a bit more strength than you're accustomed to with fine tuning as a lock. But this is a massive door. And this lock is very heavy, very intricate on the inside. You've never come across a lock quite like this one. And as you click it, you realize why. These doors don't shift out or inwards. They slide apart slowly. And if you look at roll 20,
Ooh. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
As you enter the new area,
What the fuck is
We're in
this?
Bioshock.
But yeah, I was gonna say, I recognize this.
So cool.
You bastard.
as you enter the new area beyond the doors, creaking loudly and echoing through the chamber beyond, lit only by the light sources beyond the windows in the room that look out over this underwater cityscape. This appears to be a lobby of sorts, possibly for any visitors who are just arriving to the city. Bench seating that has given way to damp rot have collapsed in piles where they once stood. Doorways left open with the remains of their frames collapsing at the foot of the entrance where shops, restaurants, who knows what may have once been there. The area is wide and the ceiling high. A second level can be seen with what must have been copper railing, now overgrown with green from oxidation. The ceiling chandelier, now scattered in ruins at the center of this chamber, has one of the many leaks pouring down upon it. Each droplet that hits the moist ground seems to echo out, ping-ponging a game of telephone that no one will ever hear. Everyone make an investigation check.
Ooh, this is my investigation game, baby.
Oh my god.
I see nothing. As usual.
You were overwhelmed.
Okay.
Not so bad.
Viria, this is confusing, confounding you. Where you found your crystal before was in an ancient cavern. This has civilization tied to it. And it looks like it was once possibly advanced civilization. Your thoughts are not around what you're perceiving around you. It's on how is this tying to your crystal? How is this tying to anything? It's just sending you in a confusing loop in your head. Everyone else, there isn't much around this chamber that can tell you who or what is the purpose or reason for this underground city. And that's when you come across a stark realization. There's nobody here. And I mean that literally. No body here.
Wait.
I thought we would meet some water elf. There's no
yeah.
one here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is only a small part. If people stopped visiting, they would have no reason to upkeep it.
This is not stop visiting. This is more like abandoned.
Or were they driven out, maybe?
I would like to like stick my face on like the window or something and look at the rest of the city. Do I see like sign of life?
Well, as you peer out through the chamber's window to get some sense and direction, throughout this connected city, you can make out that there are a few of the connected domes that clearly have shattered windows and are flooded by the ocean and sea life. Now, it may be wise to keep track of where those chambers are connected to, just in case one wrong door being opened winds up flooding these few open areas.
I'm gonna actually point it out to Nagaheim so they can write it down in their notebook.
Wait, look. Over there.
Nagheim, make a perception check.
See, that window is broken.
18.
Great. You can make out that there is a tunnel connected to the right side of this lobby area that can lead you down to where there are about 3 connected chambers. And then it goes down further. Over a cliffside of sorts. To whatever the next section below that is.
Fury, lift your arm up and point.
She smells daisy fresh.
I got prestoed.
Some
Which way did
pocket
she point?
deodorant would have been nice. That's all I'm saying.
It's still in my pack.
Anyway, she points down towards that side.
Yeah. We should go this way.
Wait, is that the flooded way?
No, the flooded way's over
Okay.
there.
This is incredible, by the way. Just want to put that out there. I'm having the best time.
I want to vomit.
Would anyone like a snack before we move along? Maybe that would make us feel a little better?
I think it would make me actually vomit.
Okay, all right. I will. I will take out the least smelly thing in our food supplies and have a little snack.
It's that
'Cause
beef
nobody
jerky that
wants-
you brought over to my place.
On the plane. Oh, why? I've done it too, and I'm like, why did I do this? I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm a monster.
All right. So as you guys head down, the next connecting tunnel, to the left-hand side, you see the first chamber that has not been flooded. The doors are sealed, but they're not uncommon to doors that you have come across before. What would you like to do?
I would like to curtsy and be like, "Bleh."
The door does not curtsy back. It's a door.
No, I'm curtsying to Colt to be like, your turn.
Yes, I shall, madame. Excuse me.
Let's see.
Goofballs.
This little handshake.
Oh gosh, please, please, please. I don't want to burn all my lucks on these doors. 16.
You succeed.
Sweet.
The doors slowly grind open. Its gears fighting against all the rot that has solidified these doors in place. And it stalls with enough space for each of you to enter this room one by one.
I'll-
look around the room.
Okay?
Yeah, I'll
You all
follow
go in the
Miriam.
room.
I'm gonna hang outside the door.
Okay?
Not a bad idea.
Upon entering this room, the smell of decay and rot are so distinct and overpowering. It makes you realize that the invading pungent smells of the previous chambers were somewhat pleasant by comparison. All along the edges of this circular room, you can see large tube-like chambers, 2 by 2, with tables dividing each set along the entire perimeter. Most seem to be shattered, with whatever contents within scattered along the floor around it. Some remaining sludge and shapes can be seen protruding from them. For the few that do remain intact, all of them seem to contain some sort of dark green sludge-like liquid. Anyone who wants to can make an investigation check.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see it.
yeah, yeah.
17.
17.
Oh, and a girl, and a girl. Where did my name go?
Your computer hates you some days, you know that?
It's half the time the little thinger doesn't pop up, so I can't find it. There we go.
21.
21! I've been killing it with investigation.
Well,
I
I'm
was
gonna
so
kill you
good
later.
at
Nope.
this. How dare you?
No.
No dare.
So, within one of the intact capsules, as you try to peer through the thick sludge, you do see a shape within. Unmoving, but also unmistakable. A creature with 2 heads, decayed wings, and a tail that looks very similar in shape and size to a giant scorpion's tail.
Oh my god. Are they making chimeras in this fucking piece?
Does this look like the things we found on the airship?
From what remains, absolutely.
What's going on?
I'm confused.
Does it look
If
like
they were down here, how did they get up?
well, we got up. Maybe they have more of those risey downy, uppy downies. Uppy downy balls.
Maybe
Well,
they can swim.
Copyright.
Can they swim?
Uppy downy
you
balls.
think?
Yep.
Can they
well,
swim
they
and
were
fly?
transporting babies.
Fuck.
Yeah, there were children. So these tubes, are they grown in these tubes, or are they just simply kept here in some sort of sleep, magical sleep, like that story I heard about that snow woman?
Oh, the one in the.
God damn it, I tried not to smile.
You know, she eats the apple, goes into deep sleep.
Oh, in our
Orgies with
version,
7
it's a
dwarves,
pear.
you know.
Oh, it's sort of a, it's weird, you know, hearing the little, you know, how
Yeah,
some
like cultural
I've heard it was
Cultural
like a
differences.
pomegranate. You know?
Oh well.
pomegranate.
In our version, she also gets kidnapped.
Oh,
Mm,
well,
Now- I will say, while one of you is inspecting the tubes, another is looking across the tables in between them. And on one of the tables, scattered with some surgical tools that have rusted away with time, you do find a withered book that seems to be some sort of medical journal. Who would like to make a sleight of hand check?
I will.
anybody?
Yeah?
Yeah, go for it. Please do.
Do you want to give her advantage?
She doesn't need
I
it.
don't
Not
will
that she
not
doesn't
need
need
it.
it. All right. You take one of the surgical tools as thin as you can, trying to open the book. You carefully pry open the book, trying not to disturb it so much that it disintegrates beneath your fingers. There's writing within, but it's in a language that at a glance, you can't read.
Even if I could read it, I can't read it.
I didn't want to be the one to say it.
It's okay. We can joke about it. Rose is gonna say, "There's writing in here."
Oh.
Nagahime,
I'll just kind of poke my head in.
there's a book. You should check it out. It's very fragile. I don't think I can bring it to you. Do you want to switch spots?
It's fine.
Well, do you want? Maybe Colt and I can take a look at it first, and then if we can't figure it out, we can.
Just gotta remember, anything I do just adds more time. That we're stuck down at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh God, Nagheim's like on the cusp.
All right, I'll take a look at the book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll help.
Between the two of you, what languages do you speak?
Elven, half orc, and common, I believe, and Thievescan.
Okay.
Other than common, celestial, and dwarven.
I speak Elvish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Sylvan?
read.
Oh, but you can't fucking read it. No, I'm kidding.
Read. So does it look similar to Elvish? If it's
You
Sylvan?
guys don't recognize this language.
Okay, we don't recognize it. Sorry, Nagheim, we don't recognize it. Can you come have a look, please?
Yeah. I'll peer over it.
Okay, what languages do you read or speak? What do you know? Hey, tell me about you.
I speak Celestial, Elvish, Orcish, Undercommon, and Zemnian.
Nada.
I can most likely understand it, but I need 10 minutes.
Well, do you want to?
It's why we came all the way here.
Okay.
Do you mind?
I'll place my book down, and I'll ritually cast Comprehend Language.
Okay. Can you toss it up for me just for a second?
Boop, boop, boop. Where is it?
Oh, my tummy is grumbling.
Got a grumbly tumbly?
Yeah, I'm dumb. I never remember to eat.
Oh, I posted it twice by mistake.
Oh, that's okay. It's for an hour? Okay.
Yep.
So as the spell takes hold, sorry, I don't want to read all this. Just tell me real quick. Does it tell you when you cast it, do you understand what language it is you are reading, or just read the language?
I can understand the literal meaning of any spoken language, and I understand any of the written language I see, but I must be touching the surface of which the words are written.
Okay.
It takes me about a minute to read a page of text.
But not its origin.
No, it doesn't decode secret message, glyphs, arcane sigils, or, anything that isn't part of a written language.
Okay. Then this will also need a history check from you. You and your blurry self. There's something
My
tickling your
plus 11
brain.
Did nothing.
Yeah, there's some. Oh, do you have inspiration? I'm just saying.
That's fine.
Okay.
Could I give them advantage if they want to talk it over with me?
Would you talk it over with Cult?
Sure.
I got
All
some
right.
history.
Roll again.
Oh my god.
Plus 11 does nothing.
Same note.
Oh,
13 and
no.
13.
Yeah, I rolled 2 2s.
Well, I guess this book isn't going to tell you much.
Shit.
Aside from the following. The text reads as follows. Unsuccessful so far with subject 13 and 16 in the hybrid creation experiment. Unable to recreate the success of subject 11, possibly due to innate electricity or regeneration properties of the previous combinations. With the success of the Triconic and displacer splicing, we shall proceed with a third element in hopes of... But the rest of the text has been eroded.
What was the successful... Or, I'm sorry. Next time, did you read that out loud?
They were trying to... What we thought is what they were trying to create.
So those
looks-
weren't natural creatures we fought.
I don't believe so.
And there was numbers assigned to the subjects?
This is a science facility.
Is there any numbered tubes in the room?
If you search around, I'll say that you can find near the base of each of the tubes there are covered with a lot of goop and grime at this point. You wipe it off.
He's dirty right up to his
Oh yeah,
elbows right
yeah,
now.
no worries.
So we've been raided by Algie, the D&D.
Oh my god!
Which,
Hello.
welcome raiders.
Hi!
Hello.
Welcome to our game!
We actually love your show! Oh my god, that's... Holy shit, that's amazing!
Thank you!
Yeah!
Thank you
That's
so
so
much!
cute.
Oh my god!
Oh man, bless you. Wow!
You're making
Yes,
that
we
blush
do.
too!
We never get to see it
Yeah,
because
we
we're
watch you.
live the same time most of the time. But yeah, I've caught up on a lot of your show, like the VODs and everything that I can get a hold of. Wow, thank you.
Aw,
Oh, I'm getting
very
so
cute.
fun.
I'm getting a
Oh,
little verklempt.
buddy!
No, that's awesome. Wow. Oh, what the fuck was I doing? Oh, D&D. All right. Okay.
Test subject.
Who are we?
Yep, I'm with it. My voice is getting high now.
Nagheim said test subject 11 was the successful one from
Right.
the text.
So I'll say once you remove some of the sludge and everything, you do see something that looks indicative of numerology, symbology, but you can't make it out. But asking Nagheim to look at it, they see test subject number 72.
Wow, there's a lot of these. If they are using numbers the same way we do.
You get the sense, I'll give you as a freebie, that the journal you were reading was probably its earliest days. To know that they've gotten at least up to the 70s, I'll just put that out there.
Okay.
Well, they obviously succeeded at something if, you know, the ones we found up in Senyi.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's probably
Yeah.
best if we play it a little quiet and cautious. I mean, we were being cautious before, but if those things are down here still, although it looks like anything living might be
Well,
dead. I don't know how long they live.
but those tubes are broken. What broke them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a guess and say that it's probably 70 and some creatures, chimera creatures. Probably have to do something with it.
Or something more sinister.
And
Well,
Jason-
Pope.
Sinister than
Hi.
chimera creatures?
Jason, you mentioned a decaying smell. Is there anything like at the source of it that we can see?
Oh, all the sludgy remains of all the
Okay.
other test
Mhm.
subjects. That's
That's what I
probably
thought.
the origin of it, yeah.
Got you.
So, you know there are 2 other rooms before you descend further into this underwater city. What would you all like to do?
Rogue got a rogue.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Quiet.
Next,
this time.
next direction, and I'll just point.
Okay. Everybody make a stealth check, please.
I'm very stealthy.
I'm trying really hard to be spoopy, but I'm still
my
gushing over
gosh.
that thing in the chat room.
I am good vibes right now, so I'm sorry I can't be spoopy, scary.
Majority success.
15.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. You come to
Bringing
the
our
next
score down.
you come to the next doorway along this corridor. Let's get a sleight of hand check from our resident rogue.
It's a me. Cultivarius. Oh gosh.
Very Italian name, Cultivarius.
Lasagna.
Garfield. No, that's not Italian.
24.
It opens.
Pasta fazool. I'm sorry. All the Italians.
One door rapidly opens. The other one just kind of
Colt jumps back a little bit startled.
I spit on my microphone.
Oh, I thought you were doing a sound effect. So too.
Aldrith D&D, welcome to the most
It works.
professional
It
stream.
works. Yeah, we're so
Spitting
good
all
at
over
what we
stuff.
do.
Yeah. Who is all going in this room?
I'm gonna stay
One.
by the door
I
again.
am.
2, 3. Stand by the door. Got it. Within this circular room, you see row upon row of bookshelves that extend out from the walls toward the center of the room. Circular stairs lead down into a recess that holds a large marble table. Large marble round-shaped table at its center. Sometimes I forget to add words in this script. The ceiling is domed with what used to be possibly a white marble finish, but with the moisture and mold that seems to creep along all surfaces throughout the structures you have seen so far, nature's decaying fingers have slowly crawled up to its peak. Most of the bookshelves have given in to the sheer weight of the volumes they held. Rotted wood has fed into the leather-bound tomes and parchments centuries before you arrived. Upon reaching the marble table at the center of this room, you can see there are a few books that have been left stacked along the edge of this table. Anybody who would like to make a sleight of hand check.
With the earring, Nagheim, we've got books.
I can see.
Okay.
All right. So with Rose and Viria, you both try to open the books. You're a little too rough and too rushed, and they disintegrate to the hands of time.
Me? Rough? Never.
Holy shit, the way you said that. just give me a minute here.
Oh, we lost your
okay.
screen.
Okay. Wow. Oh, flustering the DM. Hello.
Point of inspiration. But we have 2 other people left. Anybody else want to make a sleight of hand check?
Well, Colt did.
No, you
No,
didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, that
I
was
will.
for the door. Never mind.
I will though, because I'm 24, man. I'm
There we go.
not gonna tempt fate by commenting
Yeah.
on that rolls.
You see your friends attempt to open the books and how easily it just fell apart in their hands. You take that into consideration. You use one of your daggers to slowly lift the book. Not open it all the way, but just to lift it enough so that Nagheim would be able to read the text should they want to.
Oh, I would flavor this. Take one of my thieves' tool, go very close to the spine, and then gently peel the page back.
Excellent. So you're able to safely open what you never see. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even justify this shitty writing I've done in this script here. You are able to safely open, and what you see is some sort of journal. With the comprehend languages spell still up, you realize this is a journal of possibly someone who lived here long ago. And the others within this stack seem to be continuations by the same author. Does Nagheim read it?
Do we have time?
Don't you have comprehend languages still up?
I do. But I mean,
Oh.
we're at the bottom of the ocean.
Right. Just a little snippet.
So maybe read diagonally or something.
So the first book you peer into, it begins at the top of the page. Don't see why we should care about any such war between deities. What concern is it of mortals what the bidding of a deity is when we have far surpassed their capabilities? Let them have the surface world and let it burn. The greatest minds of our civilization can live free beyond their grasp and create the world that we were destined to have. Here within these walls. And that's it.
Okay.
The second book that you peer into, going according to plan, experimentations with hybrid genetics has proven fruitful, and we feel confident that imbuing these specimens with our own... The third book, don't understand, can't understand how the fools think we wouldn't notice. That they could sneak and steal and supplant us and our endeavors. We are the next evolution in mortality. We have ascended our basic flesh and form. Why settle for less than perfection? We shall prove to them that... And the final book flooded the East Wing. They believed the idea that there was rescue to be had. Once they have all perished, we will consume. We will adapt. We will become... And that's it. Anyone who wants to can make a history check.
Ooh, I think that might. I think that might be it.
This sounds like some pre-calamity type of
I
bullshit.
feel like rolling
Wow.
a -2 for fun, so let's do it.
Hey. A nat 20 called?
Nat 20.
Holy shit dicks. Well, everyone but Rose. It's no judgment, baby. We love you. As Nagheim reads this out loud, hearing all of this, you all try to remember any sort of lecture or writing that has ever mentioned a submerged city of any kind, or of a society that would have possibly retreated during the time of the war between the pantheons. And while you stare off, trying to collect your thoughts, looking at the marble table the books lay on, you realize something you didn't notice before. This table is identical to that of the astrological table you discovered in Castle Yarnum. Finding the same glyphs that activated it previously, the table comes to life, and within an instant, high above, magical displays of all the celestial beings in the night sky appear. And just as before, many of the different rings along the table can change the layout of the stars to show those within the different planes of existence, as well as dates in the past, present, and future. Again, anyone... Well, wait a minute. We made a history check before. Who got above 18?
I got a natural 20.
Cult. As you look up at the stars on display currently, and compared to where the table's current settings are, you notice that there are many constellations that are missing. Now, I'll say Cult and Nagheim. Please make an intelligence check.
Let's go, brainy friend.
Oh wait, did I do save? No.
13.
Okay,
10.
I'll say it. Any inspiration? Any luck?
I do have luck.
Nagheim?
No.
Oh my god. There we go. 17. Oh,
17.
yes. Good use of luck.
You being the brains of the operation Cult,
Obviously.
you can deduce that at the time of construction, the missing constellations and stars are in fact missing because they had not been discovered yet.
Y'all, this shit is old. And I'm not talking
Like
100 years. I'm talking, how old?
Old.
Can I surmise within a century?
100 years is not that old.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Did you just call Rose old?
Rose, you're a long-living elf. I'm just a short-living half-orc. I think you're young for your race. So is my mum. I bet you're not even nearly half as old as she is.
How old is your mom?
I don't know.
Before we get into the mom talk, no, and I'm not
This is
making a
perfect
joke.
discovery.
No, I'm not making a joke here. I am just metagaming. I'm looking at the time.
True.
There is one more room to be investigated. Do we want to do that, or do we want to wait until next game to do that?
I'm okay to wait.
I'm okay with it as well.
Okay. Continue
Then
the mom talk.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Uh,
Mom. Sorry.
No,
Mom,
don't.
sorry.
Please. I can only handle so much horniness. Please.
I
You
still
say
don't know
that
what
as
that
if you're
means.
not horny on me every second of every moment.
Oh,
I'm
every
not.
second, every day. Colt will relay all this information to the group and just be like, I don't know what it all means, but
I honestly don't give a shit. And I'm slowly inching towards the next room. I'm like,
maybe we should do the next room.
also, Nagaheim is looking very uncomfortable, and I can understand them. I'm not, I'm comfortable around water, but even this is just a lot.
All right. So, as you all leave this cosmology room and head out into the hall, you look towards the next chamber. And that's where we're going to pick it up next week.
That was so cool.
This is so cool.
Oh,
We
Adventure
spent too
Boy's
much
living
time
his best.
frolicking on the beach.
Are you kidding? I love that.
I know, that was the best shit ever.
Oh my god.
This whole
We had a
game was
little,
the best
like,
shit ever.
One Piece moment, but also like super wholesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I was like, Fishman Island? This entire time. But yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you everybody for
so
joining us
good.
tonight. Hope you enjoyed
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
just
so
saw.
much for rating us.
Yes.
Yes,
oh my
thank you.
god.
So many
that
new
was so
names
sweet.
in the chat. It's so
Oh.
good to hear from all of you. Thank you so much.
And yes,
Welcome, new friends.
yes, you guys called it. Welcome to Rapture.
Yeah.
We went from
Like
Junji
Bioshock.
Ito,
Oh my gosh.
Uzumaki to Rapture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are
I'm
my
alive for
inspirations,
this.
folks. Cannot tell a
Oh,
lie.
so good. So good.
So, thank you for watching. Hope you all had fun. We will be back here to continue where we left off tonight, next Sunday at 6 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, have a great night. Have a great week. And like we always like to say at the end of our show,
Have safe
Safe
sex.
sex.
I'm dying on the inside.
Have lots of